All right, guys. Trial number 5 or 4. I've lost count. Been trying so hard to get Streamlab to work, but what can I say? It didn't want to work. So we'll go with this. It seems to be a little more bulletproof these days, so why not? Anyhow. Ooh, we're going to have to get going. So, let me put the link for this out here if anybody wants to join. All right. Looks like we got somebody back. Oh, thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. It's been a little bit of a frustrating technology week for me. Not sure what's going on with the computer and why we're having such a tough time getting a stream to work, but we'll do what we got to. Hey, NC Prospectors, good to see you. I was hoping to do this on the on Streamlabs because I had worked up kind of a fun theme. Kind of a fun theme for doing a 70's hunt. 70's $50 hunt. And it looks nice, but unfortunately, Streamlabs doesn't want to cooperate. So, or maybe it's just my computer, but hey, same computer's doing this. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just too much horsepower for it to do it right. So, anyhow, enough whining about that. We're going to pull up the 77s. I'm going to open something over here that helps me out a bit. Give me just 1 second here. I think it's going to. If I can manage to make it work. There we go. Now I can even see this. I can even see the chat. Hey, Shannon Smith, good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're just trying to get our act together here so we can hunt some DDOs. Pulling up a couple examples where I can see a little more clearly what we're looking for here. We're going to start off with some 77Ds. Yeah, technology, what can I say? Well, I can say a few things, but I don't think it's appropriate for the YouTube airwaves right now. It's not real happy with technology right now. I guess we've all been there, had our frustrations with things. So I'm going to tear through things at a fairly brisk pace tonight because it's already, I burned 45 minutes trying to get things to work right. So that really kind of eats into the time that I was planning to spend on this. So Maybe we'll have to break it into 2 pieces and finish another night. Or I'll just finish off camera, whatever works. But I don't want to stay up too late because I have had a little bit of a long day. I did have some fun, though. I had a new album for Buffalo Nickels in, so I was able to put about 27 Buffalo Nickels in there. That's not quite half, but you got to start somewhere, right? Don't worry, I left some for the stream giveaways, so that's a good thing. I will put our link out into the chat in case anybody wants to come up and say hi. There you go. There were a couple of these 77s when we were hunting them that I noticed looked really nice. So maybe we'll get lucky and one of those will have something like a DDO on it. That one's just beat up. Even if it was a DDO, I'm not sure we'd want it. We'd want that one. This one's got some ring of death on it. Looking for some doubling in the R, which is the strongest. You can see it in basically all the letters, but the S will have a fairly strong split at the top and the bottom curves. The R will have extra thickness in the leg and an obvious split. And the U pretty much doubles north to south. And you'd be able to see it in the serifs. And at the bottom of its curve as well. All right, now here's the nicest 77. And that looks like that's just going to be some machine doubling there. I know it has a little bit of a look to it, but the U is not correct. And the S is, I think that's just wear on it. So, nothing in the 77Ds. How's everybody doing tonight? I think we just got NC and Shannon here. Hey, Sir Benji's here. How are we doing tonight, Sir Benji? I've been having technology problems left and right, so my regular stream just doesn't seem to want to work. Don't know why. That one's had something drug across it about remove that U. Nothing on the 74s. Let's move over to the 73s. Let me scroll up here. On the 73s, we'll see it strongest on the R, the U, and the S, but there are markers on the L, I, and B in Liberty. So what we look for there is along the left side of that upright bar on the L, same on the I, and same on the B. If we see that extra metal to the left on all three, then we're fairly certain we've got a DDO, and it gives it a nice, easy way to check these things too. A lot faster. Sometimes the doubling can be a little subtle on these, and easier to tell when there's a lot of wear on them as well. I going through these kind of fast, but got a little later start than we thought. Hey, Sir Benji, did you get an email from me today? Or I forget if I think I emailed you. I tried to leave you something in your the chat on your stream today. That's a good way to state it. Better than you deserve. I think that's something we could all say. I was trying to let you know that I am going to attempt to take the day off on Friday. And if that happens, right now it's a little bit of an if. I was planning a day off on the 15th, but turns out I'm going to be working out of town. And so I was just going to take that day back this Friday. And of course, somebody else comes up with a deadline. So I'm just going to have to learn to say no. But anyway, if you're interested in still doing like a nickel battle on Friday, and I can manage to get that day off, I would love to do another one. Giddy up. That's right. That's for sure. Got to get through these. Got a lot of them. Now these halves that we're looking at are the halves that Walker Magnet had in his box on Saturday. And if anybody recalls, he had an outstanding box. We actually had a fill the board, meaning we had 90, 40 proof, NIFCs, and a miscellaneous. And that is the first time we pulled that off in a single box, because that's all we hunt normally. So that being the case, we're pretty darn happy about that happening. And the bonus there was the 90 was the last part of the last piece of the puzzle for us to complete for that fill the board. And being Walker Magnet, we were thinking to ourselves, wouldn't it be just ironic if it were a Walker that were to complete the board? And guess what happened? That's exactly what happened. Walker got his Walker. And we had a full board. So we were pretty darn happy with that. Yeah, Southern, I'm kind of following a little thing that Pa had on his channel that talked about looking for those markers on the L and the I and the B, and the extra metal to the left of each, and that if those were there, it'd be a clear cut. You know, odds are very strong that the doubling through the word trust would be there. And the one time that I found one on the 73, that was exactly the case. I actually had not found any others. So once I had that happen, I thought, well, must know what he's talking about. But if there's more to look at, that's always something I want to learn more about. 73Ds, yes. Cash Money Silver Stacker. How are we doing, sir? Good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the channel. And welcome to our 70s DDO hunt. I had a nice little theme put together for the 70s on Streamlabs, but Streamlabs doesn't seem to want to cooperate right now. Monkey King Metals. Hey. Night's going pretty good. Getting a late start, and we're only looking at DDOs. Oop, a little bit of a delay there. It's good to see. I don't think we've met before. It's good to meet some new people. Now that is a little suspicious there. That one looks suspicious as well. Yep, we may have a DDO here. Let's sneak up on it a bit. It's worn. I don't think that's gonna be it though. Yeah, it's not right. Juan Velasquez, good to see you. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I think the other one was just a little bit of a coincidence. I don't know. That's the last of the 73s. Good to see a few new faces in here tonight. Always happy to see them. Got 6 people in the chat or in the stream right now. I saw your post a little earlier, Washington quarters and the 32, 32D, and 32S all AU. I don't know quarters as well as I probably should. So if anybody in the chat is able to help him out, that would be amazing. We're down to some 72s. These, I know that feeling, Monkey King Metals. It was pretty amazing when I first got things set up. Ugh. A little gunk on that one. I just think I'm going to need to get a better computer. It's that actually doesn't sound half bad, Cash Money. I think it's a 32D that's actually worth quite a bit. So if you're getting them in AU condition, I mean, I would suggest, I don't know if you've got the chance to, look at these and determine for yourself if you feel like those are right. If they're graded, yeah, that's a good question. yeah, I wouldn't. I've definitely seen people think things are in BU condition and they turned out to be clean. So that's a real big danger there. Hillbilly Ninja, good to see you. I'm loving this. We're getting all kinds of new faces in here today. Seems like everything is a stream fix now. I mean, holy Jesus. I know, American Eagle Hoarder. I know it's not been kind to me. Hey, Silver Scorpion. Getting a few people. Looks like maybe somebody else is wrapped up here. Getting a few other people. LNW Show. Good to see you. Always good. Another meeting place for everybody, huh? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Southern Metal is $100 sounded like it was pretty, almost too good to be true. I guess I'd be wanting to weigh those and check them for some. Hey, I'd take that right now, American Eagle Hoarder. I seriously would. But if you got here and you saw what I'm actually running on, you might change your mind and ask me for gas money to get home. It's really not. It's not really that impressive a computer. It's like a business laptop that's hand me down. I got enough to just about enough juice to make it stream go in the last 8 months, but I've known that I'm going to need to replace it. That's why I've got it cheap. Let's see what I'm running. Yeah, well, it's a Lenovo T520. I couldn't tell you much else about what's going on in it right at the moment. I am definitely looking forward to an upgrade, though. Hey, BH, saw you come in. Good to see you. Yeah, we might need to do that, man. Might need to do that. Oh, looks like you've got your setup works real well for you, and I know well, between you and Southern Metal, I know you guys can probably get a computer to do just about whatever you need it to. I think Southern does a lot of programming and has some pretty cool things that are custom. So. Yeah, just make sure you don't use a computer like mine there, Monkey King. It's not going to be worth it. Yeah, I know. got one of these that's just smushed, so it looks like it's all wider, but no DDO. Might have knocked it out of focus here. There we go. Yeah, my son wanted to build his own computer here not too long ago, but cost of video cards is just insane right now. So it's a rough time to be building one, from what I understand. I just want to kind of find the right specs for the computer that needs to be bought, and whether that's somebody that has it, like maybe you, American Eagle Hoarder, or some other place out there. I'd love to find a good deal. Holy crow. 48 gigs of RAM. Sorry, I was kind of keeping up with the chat. A lot of specifics there. I mean, I know some of what you're saying there, but I don't know everything. I am definitely not computer savvy. I'm kind of like computer ignorant and just dangerous enough to be a problem. Hey, whatever you say, American Eagle Hoarder. I'm going to trust you on that one. So, doesn't look like we found anything on the 72s. Phillies. I'm going to move on, look for some no FGs on the 72Ds. We got a ton of these. We got basically 4 rolls plus a few extra for no FGs, so we're going to be looking at a few of these. Luckily, they're fairly easy to spot. That one doesn't look like it, but there's pretty clearly some markings there, the F and the G. Well, I figure these really slick computers are doing one of 2 things, or maybe one of 3 things now. Streaming, gaming, or mining Bitcoin. Which is kind of a bizarre thing to me. I really don't know. I don't know too much about what goes on there, but how do you mine something that doesn't exist? I don't know. I mean, I'll ask the ignorant question. You know, how in the world do you mine Bitcoin. I'm guessing it's like an algorithm, or I'm a mechanical engineer by education, so I'm thinking you mine something, you got a drill or something like that. I mined for a while, but the payout began to be small. I was just finishing up my taxes since I got a extension this year, and I noticed on one of them that I filed that it asked if I was making any kind of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency profits. It does math, and then you get paid for you doing the math correctly. Okay. So it's out there doing math problems and getting rewarded with Bitcoin. I mean, you got me. Is it out there figuring out the forget the name of, like, Fibonacci sequences or something? Yeah. That's the gist of it. Not sure how to spell gist. Well, come on, man. Your computer's got to be able to do that for you. It's the red squiggly line when you misspell the word gist. GPUs. I'm used to CPU. I don't know GPU. I would love to get together with you guys sometime and talk that through and see what's going on with that. Not sure if my family of 6 would notice some constant internet traffic and slowing down the Wi-Fi or whatever the deal is there. It'd probably have to be direct connected. But I don't know. Do you have to program it to know how to do the math, or does it figure it out? No, we've got that figured out, Southern Metal. We don't do laundry anymore. Oh, okay. Just about every assumption I've got about it is proving to be wrong, so that I probably as ignorant as the average person on something like mining. Wrap that rascal. Yeah. No. The yeah, hold on just a second. The when kid number 4 was on the way, we talked with the doctor. We knew we were having yet another C-section, so I had the whole "Hey doc" conversation with the doctor. Hey doc, while you're under the hood of the car there, can you take care of a few things? So that's what happened. Not 100% foolproof, but so far so good. That's really suspicious right there. While I'm getting the link put on, I will I'll let Southern Metal tell me how if that's an OFG or not. I always kind of default to thinking it's not, but we haven't rotated it yet. I think I kind of see the hint of a G there. There he is. Let's add him in here. Hey, how we doing?
Hey, I'm trying to change so I can remove my words at the bottom of my screen, because I don't need that on there, but I don't know where to click. Settings. Okay, no.
I don't know.
Green screen. I don't know. What's that do? No, not that. What the heck? That was cool for a second, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought you could do it under edit, but I guess not. That's just for me to change information on the stream title and stuff.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
There you go. Good. Yeah, that 5 times loop is
better.
What they have, but yeah, I think we might have an OFG here. Just gonna keep turning it around in the light here.
I don't see any, like, not even like light bumps.
Yeah,
that looks an OFG to me. Is that a 72?
Yeah, yeah, 72D.
Now I'm jealous.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just I'm kind of putting together some of the shadow there to create the oval of that G, but I don't know.
Are you just spinning it or tilting it too?
I'm just spinning it. I can tilt it.
Yeah, tilting will give you the best. Oh,
yep.
I see.
There it is. Yep.
Okay, never mind. That's a weak FG.
Yeah. About as weak as it gets.
Still something to collect, though.
Yep. I'll definitely set it aside. So.
Let me, I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Yeah,
no I can move my camera.
Yep, there was a little G on there, guys. So, too bad. Can't say no. Just really weak. That one's not there, but there's not much of anything else. As a weak FG category. Yeah, they're kind of an all or nothing operation there, aren't they, Southern Metal? Anyway, there's a couple of these that are really nice. So it'd be nice if they were. So. Yeah,
that's probably the worst.
What's that?
Oh, this is when I broke a fan blade off. I hit it with my thumb, and I had just replaced this fan, and I snapped another blade off, so I had to buy another fan to replace it. But I just threw this up here for you know, a visual. What kind of questions? I caught some of them about, like, is it hard to figure out?
I've just never really even considered it, and so you know, when I hear about mining something, I think about, okay, well, we get stuff out of the earth. That's pretty simple to explain. I'm just like, okay, how do you do that in a digital environment?
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I thought, God, I feel like such an idiot now. I thought it was like when you're mining for gold. I thought that you're going to find little chunks and you're going to find big old nuggets, you know? No, that's not how it works. They just call it mining. I don't know why. I would have called it something else, I think. But it's always the same size chunks. It's just how fast your video card can do the math depends on how many chunks per minute or per hour or per day you can get. And the chunks add up to a Bitcoin or add up to a digital currency coin. So I'm reading the chat as I'm saying this. Southern, it's my nice hash is what I use. I personally only mine Bitcoin, and then I transfer it to or convert it to other coins. I don't try and you can set it up to mine individual coins, like the alternative coins to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's like the granddaddy of them all. But I find it easier for me and less technical crap to just mine Bitcoin, and then in Coinbase, the software that you, or not software, the exchange, the crypto exchange, you can just transfer it from one coin to the other. So like right now there's 50 coins on Coinbase that you can invest in or buy or trade fiat for. Sorry. I have pretty much some of everything, because I figure if one of them goes to the moon, I want to catch that boat. Whereas some people look at Bitcoin and they go, oh my God, it's worth 60 grand. I need to buy that. And it's like, if you have 60 grand, you can buy one coin, but you could take that same 60 and spread it apart from all of them and buy thousands upon millions of other coins that would give you a much better increase as far as like investments. But like just mining itself, it pays you back for everything that you've spent on the computer, versus like right now, where are you at? YouTube subs, by the way, what do you have, 400 or 500?
Sitting about 315.
Okay, still jealous again.
We'll get you there.
I haven't been streaming. I finally started getting boxes again, but whatever.
Yeah.
Once
You've
you
had a little more in your life going on than I have.
Oh yeah. How much do you think you make per day on average? I know nothing about crypto, so I'm clueless about what profit. Oh, hold on a second. I actually have to bring up the miner program, and then there's a button on it that says. I'll show you in a second when it brings it up.
Hey, John Jacobs, Plumber Stacker, Patrick Johnson. Good to see you guys.
Hold on one second. I blew into this card to get the dust out, and for some reason it was like, as soon as I blew out, dust went right in my mouth.
Well, you got it out, right?
I'm trying. All right, so let's see. Is there anything on here that I don't want shown? No. Okay. So, any icons or anything that says, important information. So this is the mining program right here. That's how easy it is. Boop, hit a play button, start mining, right? Right here it tells you how much you make a day for just like this machine. So I have this computer that I do, this one here has the biggest video card, and it cost me $1,300. But not only can I do mining, but I can do all the video games out there. I can stream, and I can stream while playing games. I can even mine while streaming. This card is that powerful that it can do both and no problems. So it's totally worth the money in my opinion. But some people might be like, well, I don't want to spend that kind of money on a video card, and that's fine, because you can do it for less. You just can't do you can't really multitask some of the older cards. In fact, now you can mine with your like on this. If I go here, see this here, it says my processor. I can mine with just my processor. So I can mine with the video card and the processor. So it actually makes me I'd say about 10 to 15 cents a day extra with the processor mining. So even if you don't have a great video card, you can still mine with your processor. But my Ryzen 3 1300X is probably the lowest processor I would ever try to mine with, and even then, it's like, don't try and do anything else with that computer at that point.
Yeah,
it's just not, the computer just kind of stutter and chug. And
yeah,
let me see if I can bring up these stats. My rig upstairs, I call it the big rig. It is making me almost $3 a day. It's only got three RX 580s on it. Now this will alternate what algorithm it's going to use, which changes how much it can make. It tries to find the one that pays the most, but if it's not very stable, it'll switch to the what is it? It'll go to the most stable rather than the highest paying one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It
better to make a little all the time than hit this. Yeah.
So like this one actually isn't running right here. The 30. Wait, yeah, never mind. That's the one behind me. I gotta switch to this screen because this sucks. I can't see live. This one here is my 3700X. This is the one I just built.
Uh-huh.
This one actually has the slower video card, but the better processor. And since I haven't set this one up to replace the one I'm using right now, eventually this will become the one that is my main machine. But for now, it's just sitting back here, slowly setting it up.
Gotcha.
Let me bring that back up. I need to move this because this is annoying. I hate looking at the YouTube stream because it's so delayed and I can't see live.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that. It's going to take a second to. So this tells you like the how much is in your wallet. So like how much you've mined so far.
Uh-huh.
Or right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Not even aiming at it. Let me back up. So there's your wallet right there. How much you've mined so far right there. That's it in US currency. Now you can trade it in euro, you can trade it in yen and whatever else. Or you can get paid in those other currencies. But it's a very easy program. It's kind of like an Apple. It's very easy to use. It's very user friendly. I think the hardest part was figuring out where the heck is that button. Let me see if I can find it. Mining, wallets. There's a button on here somewhere. Oh, that's not even on here. Oops. I gotta pause it as soon as it fires up. But on the miner itself, this program, you have to tell the other website I just had up. Is my thing falling down, or am I aiming it down and not realizing it? Yeah, it's falling down on me. So let me pause that. So right here is your wallet address. This is the hardest part, is you have to make sure that address matches with the website so that you can get paid. Whatever this mines, it will send it to there. So that's setting up your wallet and your bank account and everything. That's probably the hardest part. But once you get past that, it's literally, you can either use this page. I like this page just because I can turn on and off individually. But you can go straight to the main. It's very user friendly. Boop, go, boop. You know, like go. And then once it gets going, pause. And then that's it. And it's super easy.
So then it just kind of does the work.
Yeah. And like you could technically be mining while you're streaming if you have a strong enough card so that you're still not only getting paid with once you hit 1,000 subs and monetized and all that, you'd be getting paid from that video plus the mining. And then if you buy a cheap enough card, like this is a 480, these cards actually are quite expensive even now, and these are old. But these still make up to, well, right now about up to $1 a day, which isn't half bad considering they're what? Give me a second. I'm gonna look it up. I'll tell you. I'm curious as to how old it is.
I'm just wondering, I think Garrett kind of asked a question that I was wondering, do you feel like you ever earn back the money that you've invested.
Oh my God, yes. Holy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me do something real quick before I finish answering that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the answer to your question, Garrett, is yes.
I'm going to switch cameras real quick.
Not a problem.
There's I kind of want this one would be better anyway because I'm gonna bring something in front of me here in a second. Oh, what'd I do? That's okay. Is it working? There I am. Okay. So I can give you my Bitcoin address if you want to show them how to send Bitcoins. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I don't even know that much, and I found that one pretty good.
He wants me to send him Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I actually have no Bitcoin. I could if I had some, but I traded out for altcoins. Like right now, Shiba is so cheap. It's 4 zeros and then a penny, or then a 1. Yesterday it was 5 zeros. Today it's 4. So it's getting closer and closer to a penny. So I bought, or I invested $200. It's up to 300 now. So I'm up $100 just by going up one thousand.
Yeah.
Was it tens, ones, tenths, hundreds, thousandths? Yeah, it went up to a thousandth of a penny versus 10,000th. If it goes to 1 penny, I've got 32 million coins. If it goes to a penny, it'll be $320,000.
Yeah.
You'll not see me anymore. No.
Crazy. Yeah.
If it goes to 10 cents, it'll be 3.2 million.
Yeah.
I don't predict that to go there at any time soon. Probably another year or so for it to even hit close to a penny, maybe another 0. But just like Dogecoin was 3-4 zeros, and then all of a sudden it went to a penny. Then it was shot to 70 cents, and then it came back down to 20 cents. So imagine those people. There was a guy at my work. He bought in it at 3 zeros. It went to a penny. He sold out. He made, I don't know, $1,000. And then it kept going. Had he stayed, he said he would have made 35 grand, but he cashed out at a penny and didn't just wait to see, you know. So for me, it's like I'm waiting for, if something hits six digits, that's when I'm going to cash it out so I can pay my house off. After that, it's all gravy. You know, it's all extra. I just want to pay off my house and then worry about the fun stuff later.
You still got to tax considerations on that, right?
Oh yeah. I think it's 40%, or I have to ask my tax guy because he's doing my last year's taxes still because I was late on those. But I have earned income credit for my daughter, so they're like, well, if they owe you, there's no fee, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they owe me because not only with having my custody of my daughter, but I paid a buttload of taxes this year. Or they've taken a buttload of taxes, like $6,000, $7,000. Southern says, "Damn it." Wait, is it the same thing as mining on an old phone? I've seen people do that. You know, there's a thing out called Pi that you can mine on your phone and tablet and anything. It's not the same as this. It should hit the market sometime. Like I have my iPad. I'm sorry, my iPad 2 or iPad Air or whatever it is. I have that mining Pi. Just because I never used the thing for anything else. I got it from an ex, and I was going to use it for side business. And then I was like, you know what? Here's this thing I can mine. Thank you, Juan, for the shirt compliment. But yeah, I mean, you can use your phone. You can't do like Bitcoin mining. It's a Pi is the only one. It's just like the number 3.14, blah, 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 blah. It's that the symbol's the same too. So if you want to try and mine that while it's free, it's actually free to mine it. It doesn't, other than the internet, that's all it takes. But but it takes data. So like if you're at work using your phone, I don't know if it'll slow your phone down. I know it eats data. It probably eats data more because it doesn't use like the GPU doing that kind of mining. I think it's a different way. So has your profits come from mining or the trading? Both. Bitcoin, when I first started, before I started investing into crypto, I was just I wasn't cashing it out and then paying my electric bill, and whatever was left over just stayed in my bank. I should have kept it, because once when I was started mining, it was back before it hit $5,000 again. And then it went all the way to 60. Had I kept it and waited, I would have had a buttload of money, an extra, but I didn't. I was just paying the bill, because I just wanted the extra income to help with the bills. But then I started investing. I have only had 2 big ones that I've invested and cashed out. I should say 2 that paid out very well, that I invested early, made a decent chunk of money, and that was Chainlink. I bought in at $380, and then it shot up to $20 a coin. That one I made about $1,100 or $1,200, and then District was my favorite so far. That one I made $2,150 off of $800. I made $2,100. And then the next one is, I hope to God, it's Shiba, because that'll pay off my house if it goes to even a what is it, a tenth of
10 cents.
Where's my phone? Tenth of a penny, I think. Not even a full penny.
Wow.
Because I bought 50 more tonight, because it's still, even though it's broke. What the heck did it break? It broke 4 digits, or now it's into the 4th digit. Let me see where it's at right now. Even though it's there. Oh, that's why I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm having a brain fart. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I got to get this out of my head first.
That's good.
Yeah, 4 zeros, and then it goes 00001305. It's up 53% today. That's ridiculous. Because if I had 10 grand dumped into that, I'd have a huge amount of increase. Like, that is the highest mover, I think, today in all of them. Let me see. Yep. The next one after that is something called Adventure Gold. Never heard of it. Dogecoin is the 4th biggest mover today at 10%. What was it? What was the other one? There was another one in here. Maker's at $2,500 right now. When I first saw it, it was $350, $400, and I had bought one and then held it for like 6 weeks, and then I was like, man, I don't need this, and sold it, and then it started climbing up. I'm like, God, wow.
Off on you. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's 25. What is it? Yeah, $2,500, and I think it hit 35. Let me see. Oh God, $6,300. I just want to shoot myself in the foot.
And that's what pain looks like right over there.
Yeah, if you want to, and you know what's funny is that all the silver stuff. To move back to silver, all the silver that I have was from my dad. Obviously I bought a couple sets and whatnot, min sets, just because I'm an impulse buyer. But my dad could have sold all of it back in 2011 or 20. Yeah, I think it was 2011 when it hit 50 or $49 an ounce. He would have broken 6 figures with no problem. And like a high, I'd say 150. Probably around 150 had he sold it all then. I'm glad he didn't, but I wish he had, just because like within the last, I don't know, 5 years, he was talking about needing money, but he's like, I'm never selling these. He was a hold on until he died.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm like, I won't do it because I'm like, well, then it's kind of a waste. It's just going to sit there.
Yeah. Well, if you hang on to it until you die, then you never get to use it.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's like those people that have like a muscle car or something they're building in their garage, but they're moving so slow. The thing rots away before they even finish it. Or it, like my stepfather had a truck. He tore it down, had the frame in there. It was like he drove it in there, started tearing it down, got all the way down to the frame. The frame was on jacks and went, oh, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. 5 years goes by, 10 years goes by, 15, 20, 30. And then it somehow lifted itself up and up against the wall, leaning on the wall, you know. And then it stayed there for like 10 years. And then he finally scrapped it. And I'm like, you wasted all that garage space for that long. Why?
Yeah.
And then he got a motorcycle, which was weird because he never had one that whole time. Yeah. And you would have, if you met my stepfather, you'd be like, he had to have had a bike all his life. But no.
Yeah.
He had this truck frame.
He kept that under his hat, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, man, you could have done so much.
I look at my retirement the same way, man. I mean, I'm doing all right. If I could retire today, I could make, you know, good 10 years out of, you know, where I'm at. But, you know, if I got to wait 15, 16 more years to get it, you know, my biggest fight is outlasting McDonald's.
Outlasting McDonald's?
Yeah. I mean, I know the crap I've eaten.
Well, that's just, well, you can do that easily. Just today's the day, man. No more McDonald's. You're done.
Yeah. No, I got it.
That's it. Just cold turkey it. Literally, go to the store and get some cold turkey.
Yeah, I got a health coach that wouldn't even want me to do that.
You know,
turned me into a vegetarian.
My vice is Oreo cookies. I just can't stop. I even though they destroy my stomach and I just feel like crap the next day. I'm just like,
hey, everybody's got to have a vice.
It used to be smoking. Thank God I got rid of that one. That was probably the worst.
Yeah.
The biggest money waster of ever.
Yeah.
Never
picked that up, so I never mind if they were taxing cigarettes and, you know, all the sin tax type stuff. That I'm just like, I'm not going to start doing it, so go ahead.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay. So you never smoked, right? Okay, yeah. Like me, I was like, "What sin?" You know?
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't a sin. This is.
I'll enjoy a cigar.
What would you call that? It's not a sin. It's a. This is bliss.
Yeah.
What? Not sin. That's gonna bother me now.
It's
indulgence.
Yes.
I think that's an indulgence. This is an indulgence.
That'll work.
I get locked on words. I have to find them.
Yep. I hear you.
What is your idea? What is your main goal with a new computer? Just streaming, mining and streaming, gaming, mining, streaming? Because go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm not much of a gamer, so I'm not worried about that. And everything you've told me about mining is pretty much what I know now. So I'm not sure that it's not necessarily in the future. So really, just streaming's kind of the number one thing.
What about your son? Well, you said you have 5 kids, right?
Just 4.
I thought you said 6.
So, family of 6. So mom, dad, 4 kids.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking you had 6 kids. I'm like, okay.
Oh no, I'm not a Brady.
So 4 kids, 2 and 2, 3 and 2, 3 and 1.
3 boys, last one's a girl.
Okay, so then the 3 boys are probably wanting a video game. If they're not, they already are.
Oldest son just took all the money he made working summer camp and for graduation and bought himself a very smoking computer.
So he's already there.
He's already there, yeah. So
did he buy a pre-built or did he build it himself?
he had a plan to build himself, but then he found one that was built and went that way.
Oh God, no! Pre-built. Oh man, at first I used to love them. I used to think, oh man. And there's only one company out that I think makes really good ones compared to the rest, like in a grand scheme of them, and that's Digital Storm. And that's only from first appearance. Just by looking at them, they look great. But I've never looked at the actual specs of them. iBuyPower is one of the worst. Just the name sucks. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know. I can't even equate and give it an analogy as far as like cars. Cavalier. That's not even that's not even good enough. But like then there's Lenovo's mostly it's pre-built. That's why I was like, throw that thing in the trash because it's made mostly pre-built.
This thing's easily 3-year-old discarded business computer that somebody had.
Is it a skinny one?
No, this thing could hold your boat in place.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's one there.
Well, I mean, it's a laptop, but it's beefy. I mean, it's chunky. It doesn't quite have the width of like having the 10 keys next to the.
Oh, so all the keys are like you're like really crunched in there, like.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'll show you.
I love how you have not only the mouse pad, but the little mouse button. The little red dot button. Yeah. I hated that thing back when I first played with one of those. Oh, it's a ThinkPad.
Yep.
Oh, okay. What's that?
It's a T520.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's an older one. That's like a.
Yeah.
Is that Windows? Is it 10?
Yep. It's running 10. I think it was like a i5 processor on it. And
so it's not super old. It's just
right.
Because ThinkPads, when I think of ThinkPads, I think of old.
Yep.
I think of like 10 or more years old.
Yeah, it's probably similar to what we've gotten at work, but even the ones I'm getting at work run circles around this one right now. So I have no idea if the problems I'm running into are just that it's no longer keeping up or what the story is.
So this is one of my old computers. As you can see through it and whatnot.
Yep.
All I did was, this is 2008. I slapped an RX 480 in it, and it does everything just fine. Like, I put a new, updated the power supply. Unfortunately, I didn't pick the one with modular cables, and I should have, because this has got like a, as they call, ketchup and mustard look to it, because you can see all the wires in it. But I was like, you know what? I don't care about the looks because the case kind of makes it look neat. But other than that, this is one that I was like, you know what? I just updated the hard drive to a solid state and I got to pull this hard drive out because it's old and slow as hell. I updated the processor to the fastest one that this could take, which is an AMD Phenom 2 6-core, which is perfectly fine for everything that's running today. I'd say for the most part, there are some, like if you're gaming, there are some games that it just can't do, or can't do well. But with a great video card, it doesn't do games half bad at all. This one, I only wanted a video card in it that could mine, but could also play some games. So like, this is great for a first PC if you've never had one before, that just to get used to the idea of it, and then something you could easily pull the card out and throw the rest of it away.
Right.
But this is just one of them. But this is the oldest one I've had. you know, and I was like, well, I've already put money into it. Might as well slap one of these cards. So this is like one of the cards that I used on the big rig, but I took it off because I'm like, I need this thing to run. Because I was at first going to sell this to my brother, so his son could do something with gaming, but he also wanted to learn how to do coding and whatnot. I don't know what kind of coding. He just said coding. I was like, well, this will do it.
Yeah. Well, looks like it. So, hey, Big Red, good to see you. Sir Benji made it back. That's awesome. Sir Benji, check your email. If you didn't catch it before, I was going to try to be off work on Friday and possibly be available to do a nickel battle. But we'll have to play that one by ear. No sooner did I send that email to you than I started to get plans being made for me on Friday. So it doesn't matter that I want to take a day off. I'm going to just have to do it. So, yeah, I think computer-wise, it's just really trying to do the streaming stuff. I am just busier than hell with too many other things to really sit down and play a lot of games. I've turned into my dad.
You only live once, man.
Only live
once. So look at. Can you see the size difference of these two?
Yeah.
This is the 580. This is the 480. The difference in heat that this one creates, like as far as the standard run, like when it's just, mining, how much heat difference. Mm-hmm. The 580 stays so much cooler and it's faster. So it was like a much better. They just figured, hey, if we thicken the thing, the only problem is it takes up 2.5 spaces in the like this shows 1-2 slots. This only takes up 2 slots. This one takes 2.5 slots. So it really kills what other cards you can put in the computer itself. But that's for like if you're doing capture cards, and I can tell it's kind of going over your head a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So a capture.
Too many things on the mind at once, yeah.
A capture card, basically, if you ever watched a streamer like Jacksepticeye or Markiplier, one of those gaming guys that do mostly video games, they'll have a PlayStation playing and then have the HDMI cord running into the back of their computer, catching the video stream, and then streaming it out. The capture card is the card I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's why they call it a capture card. But that's where the thicker video card might block that slot, because some motherboards are really long, some are shorter. There's a whole terminology, but you don't need to know all that. But the 580
is the time of night too.
Yeah. I got these right before Bitcoin shot up, so it was like 20. It wasn't even at 20 grand yet, and I started buying these because I knew I wanted to get into it. And I'm also kind of an impulse buyer. So when I saw a great deal, I jumped on it. So I bought 2 of these, and I bought them both for $189 a piece. Now, if there's anyone in the chat that knows how much they're going for now, let me know what you think. But I'm going to pull it up so you can see what they're at right now.
And that's the video card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was the one thing that steered my son to go a different direction, because he's like, I've got everything else in the budget that I was looking for, and it's going to be great, except the video card, which is 3 times everything else that I've put together.
Look at this.
Like, yeah, I don't know where you even start there. I'm no help to him.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Let me. I need to switch it for a second. So I just looked this up on eBay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I paid $149.
Yeah.
All right, $189. I'm sorry. I bought 2 of them. 2 of them for $189. That one is the cheapest. Now it is brand new. They do have used ones. Well, that says open box, $520 or best offer.
Yeah.
This is parts only. Parts only. Like what?
Yeah. Is that just because we've got so many cargo ships sitting off the coast that nobody's getting anything, and supply and demand's driving price on it, I guess.
Well, it's because it's. Let me switch that over. It's because the what do you call it? The shortage on chips, I think.
Yeah, supply chain disruptions. Yeah,
and it's just you cannot get GPUs right now or graphics cards, and I would love. You want to buy it? Hey, I could sell it for $250 and be happy. But now that I know they're $2,100,
yeah, I was gonna say you've almost got better than silver there.
What is it? The RX? Let me see if I can find out, because I bought different versions. I bought a. Where the heck is the box? These are ROG Strix. These are this is the gamer elite of design, because it's got 3 fans rather than 2, and then there's different types. Like this one here, I actually have to rebuild it because the fans died in it or are starting to die. They make this, the bearings are going out. But this is one of them. This is a RX 580 by XFX. And I bought new fans, but this one is weird because you have to tear the whole cooler off and the whole whatever. It's a pain in the butt. But you can get these, which are cheaper, but even this one I paid $200 for. These are going for $500 to $600, and they're the same speed. This one here, I'm just not a fan because this brand ran much hotter than ROG Strix. This was my first RX 580, which explains why the fans died. But these things crank out the mining. That's the thing. And once the Bitcoin broke 20 grand, that's when people were like, okay, we need to start this again. So those big companies and scalpers started going nuts on them.
Huh.
What did your son end up doing for a graphics card?
I would have to ask him on that. He's any spare time, he's just on that thing, and that's hard to get too much out of him.
He's what?
He's any spare time that he has that he's not at work, he just comes home and.
Oh, he's just straight to the game, or probably dead asleep.
Yeah. That's kind of his way of unwinding, and
that's my son does.
He's high functioning autistic, so he carries around a lot of anxiety and stress that the average person doesn't do, and so that's just kind of his chill spot. So
his God, what's it? Crap. One of my exes had a son with he was on the spectrum. Yep. He played games religiously. He was great in school, did all that perfect, and then he would come home and just boom, go straight, and that was his release. That was his release from all the stress and anxiety from the rest of the day. Yep. That he had to fight through that, and then the rest was just his downtime. That's the word I was looking for, downtime. My son's. I don't think my son's on the spectrum, but he plays games an awful lot. He loves the games. I've been trying. He just bought a brand new monitor. Actually, I'm trying to get him set up with a sweet rig, but I'm trying to get him to buy it himself. I don't want to buy it for him. I want him to learn how to make payments and do all that. Because he's 21 now, so he's got to learn that stuff.
I got you. Yeah, he just turned 18 in the spring, and had his first real job, and a couple real paychecks. It's funny when he was working summer camp at Boy Scout camp, which is something that he really does enjoy. you could tell he hadn't had too many paychecks that had taxes taken out of it, because he's like, I thought I was going to get like $300 this paycheck. It was like 200 or 250 or something like that. And I'm just kind of like,
yeah, after taxes, net pay.
yeah, and so I don't know where everybody kind of stands. I happen to be fairly conservative, and I don't blame billionaires for ruining the world or anything like that. I mean, somebody's got to make jobs, right? When he saw that, and we had a little bit of shock, and I said, now you know why the adults in the room get upset with the government and not Bezos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, because whatever Bezos goes and does, it ain't nothing compared to the waste that our government engages in. So
there was a meme that says, when you give your kids ice cream, eat 30% of it, and then explain, this is how taxes work.
We are, and probably to my own detriment, I'm a big believer in implementing the daddy tax. Yeah, it's at least 10%.
This is the taste. Okay, It's good to go. You can have the rest.
Oh, Social Security hasn't had their bite yet.
Yeah, Medicare, and all that.
Yeah,
your 401k.
Yeah, so I mean, he's just really proud that he was able to round up about. I think he dropped about 1,400 on it. So, now
I must know what kind of card he got. And
yeah,
I'll bet you the price is, and I hope he spent most of his money on the card rather than the machine. Can be that way, because you can always upgrade the machine. The machine is the easiest thing to build. The card is the hardest. So I guess it'd be like the engine in a car.
Right.
Buy that first, and then figure out what body you want to put it in.
Yeah. I think it was mainly just I don't know what parts he spent the most on, but I mean he's borrowing a monitor, so he didn't spend any money on the monitor. He spent a few bucks to get a cool keyboard and mouse and all that for gaming and all that, but it's minuscule compared to everything else that he did spend it on. So yeah, I'll try and find out and let you know. It's got my curiosity up now, because I'm just kind of going out and doing Google searches to see what's kind of the minimum you really need out there for streaming, and not sure just how much I need to be thinking about investing. I'd like to keep it to 1,000 or less, but I'm sure it's probably not worth the 18 months you might get out of it.
If all you're doing is streaming and you don't need to game, I would go no higher than maybe an RX 480. I don't think you would need to. You could, but I don't think you really need to, because streaming doesn't take that much. You'd probably want to spend more into maybe editing software for like doing videos, like getting maybe Adobe Premiere Pro, because if you're not, but if you at any time decide you want to do gaming, like I try and do a few games here and there on my channel just because I'm bored. But I've always been a gamer. I figured if you can game, you can do everything else. Because to game, it takes a really powerful video card. To render graphics, you need a very powerful graphics card. To do and that in a processor, but that's whatever. I didn't plan on doing rendering, but I figured if I ever did, I'd have the power to do it by building a gaming PC. So like anything that you plan on doing, just aim for a gaming PC, and it'll do everything else you want it to do. It's just how much gaming do you think you'd ever do? Maybe none, but if you ever wanted to, it'd be there. Like do you need a V8? No, so you got a V6. Could have went with a 4-cylinder, but the V6 will last you longer. Doesn't take as much wear and tear.
Yeah.
But it didn't cost you what a V8 would cost you. So like 480s, 580s. 580s only today, only because they're demanded now. Like I've got eBay still up on the screen here. There's one where this guy's got a mining rig. He's selling all his cards, and they're all the one I just showed you, the XFX. And for me, that'd be perfect for you because it runs too hot for mining. If you're trying to build a rig, why this guy built a rig like this with all those, I don't know, because I would never do it. You need it to run cool, but for streaming and gaming, perfectly fine. Or mining one card and that's it, just to get a little bit of extra payback on what you've invested, then that's fine. But to make a rig out of those, they weren't efficient as far as heat, because you got to keep them cool. Well, if they generate more heat, you're going to kick on an AC. Like right now, that AC behind me is running, but only because this PC's on heating up the room. Now, once we get into winter, that's coming out of the window, and I'm just going to put a box fan in here and shut the door, and I'm going to freeze this room out so that I can put my entire mining rig back in here and just freeze this room out. And then once I put the big rig in here, it'll pretty much be like a lukewarm, even with the window open, because those cards do generate heat.
Yeah.
In fact, if I let it, it would heat up my entire house if I didn't have a fan going. So depending on how many cards, like eventually I'd like to turn my garage into a mining farm, because the amount of profit I get is totally worth it. Especially if Bitcoin keeps going up, which it's predicted to do, because every 4 years you get less. They produce half the Bitcoin they did the previous 4 years. So eventually they will not make any more, which, like the dollar bill, if they stopped printing the dollar, the value would go up. But they keep printing it, so it goes down, because it's not a limited resource.
Right.
It's unlimited. So that's why but for you, I'd say a 480. I mean, you could go cheaper than that, but I wouldn't recommend it, only in case you needed the power later.
Yeah. Now, everything you're talking about is going to be the standard, tower or
pretty much,
not a laptop.
Yeah, no, you would have.
Yeah.
So this is a let me just prop this up because I hate holding on to it. This cord sucks. This tower is so old. It used to take the big drives, the CD-ROM, DVD-ROM drives.
Yep.
Which I like having those, or at least the option, because I do use CDs and DVDs sometimes. So, like, I like that option. But new cases don't have those. That's gone. And they replaced it with space to put a water cooler in there. Then it's got your drive bays spot right here to put your hard drives. This motherboard doesn't need it. The hard drive's underneath the video card. It's like this big. It's a little chip. It looks like a thumb drive just plugged in the board and screwed down. Actually, I have a hard drive here and a hard drive here. They're actually, you wouldn't have noticed until I pointed at them. But they're small. They're solid states.
Right.
This case cost me $60.
Yep.
A lot of people keep saying you need a high power supply to run these big cards. That's a 550 watt thing. They're trying to tell me I need a 750 or 1,000 watt. It's running fine on that. I might kill that up prematurely, but it's running.
Yeah.
So
power supply.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, look at it go. It's gleaming away. But case isn't like this. This came with the processor, the big fan with the light on it and everything. These fans above, those ones I paid for, but you don't have to pay for that. Right. Like I went crazy with the RAM just because I wanted to. So I didn't have to worry about it later. But like for you, you really wouldn't need to spend a lot of money at all. You could have let me think of what I have and what, not the one I showed you. The one I have downstairs that my son's using right now has the RX 590 Fat Boy in it, which unfortunately that's way too much for what you do. Plus, it's if you ever wanted to mine, it's not good for mining. It's way too hot or way too power consuming. That's the other thing. Some video cards work great for power consumption. Other ones suck. The Fat Boy is awesome. It's great looking, very aesthetic, but it's just not efficient for that. But it's great for streaming and just regular gaming. In fact, I think the 580 sells for more, even though it's a slower card technically. But that card, the case is 12 years old. It's cheap as hell. I think I paid $30 for it. Like this one here, it's nice. It's black. It's all one color, whatever. That one's silver in the front, regular metal, not even painted. Yeah. I mean, it's like sandblasted kind of metal looking. I paid $40 for the motherboard. What did I pay? $60 or $70 for the memory. The processor, I think I paid $150 back when it was new. So now it's probably a $50 processor nowadays for the there it is. $100 processor now. I think I paid $150 back when I bought it. And I told my brother I'd sell him the whole computer for like $600. You know, and that'll mine, stream, everything you can think of, and it's upgradable. In fact, the motherboard that's in that machine, the $40 mother is faster than the one to my right, the one I just showed you. That one will only go to Ryzen 2000 series, which is like 2000, 2200, all the way to 2700X is what the highest is. And that's what's in it in this one right now. But the one with the 1300X, that'll go to the 3000 series, which is far faster. It's actually it'll take the same processor that's in this, which is my newest computer. That I just bought, 4 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, if that. And that $40 motherboard will take that processor and run it. But I only bought the processor because I didn't want to let that 1300X sit on a shelf. I was just like, I got to put this in a board somewhere. What do you got? Clearance item. That was at Micro Center. I don't know if you have Micro Centers near you.
Yep.
That's like the store to go to. Newegg and eBay can suck it compared to Micro Center.
Yeah. I'll have to see what route my son went with and what he ended up getting, because I do have a brother-in-law that's very much in the computer business, networks and stuff. So I'm sure he listened to any advice he could give, and he's a straight shooter, so I'm sure he didn't get bad advice. I'm curious what he actually did. So, but it's pushing about 20 after 12 here, so I definitely need to start calling it a night so I can be up by 6 o'clock.
I'm just catching up on some of this.
Yeah.
Ellen Show is Ellen Show. No, never mind. I don't need to. Yeah. Really high tech compared to back in 2000. That's what I got in my laptop, a solid state Pentium CPU N370 at one. N370 doesn't sound like a Pentium. It sounds like a Celeron, honestly. But I guess it's a Pentium. Need to see how big of a CPU I can put in this. If it's a laptop, you're better off just buying a brand new laptop. You can buy a brand new one that will kick that thing's butt for like $300 and be like with a sweet video card in it, built in, and a better pixel screen and everything.
Yeah.
Copper, so happy AH is helping you with tech stuff. I just now see that. So is AMD still good, or is it even still around? Yes, AMD, that's what I run. I only mess with AMD. To me, AMD and Intel are the two, those are the two big boys, the only two around. Intel to me is like Lamborghini. It's expensive, it's beautiful to look at, but it's overpriced. For what AMD can do, AMD would be like a Corvette. Still fast, still pretty to look at, but a fraction of the price compared to a Lamborghini, and you can modify it to make it just as fast, if not faster, than a Lamborghini. So I have always gone AMD. It just budget-wise, it makes more sense. And now with the 6800 series, 6900, they're keeping up with, if not beating, the 3080s, 3090s, NVIDIA stuff. As far as processor, unless you have like some serious processor-heavy programs, which I don't know of any that I could ever use, you really don't need to go ridiculously expensive on a processor just to do the typical everyday stuff. Like most people on YouTube are just doing either games or streaming, and that's it. Maybe watching the occasional YouTube video or TikTok, you know.
Yep. I think somebody asked me if I was a Taurus.
Capricorn.
No, Aries.
Are you? No, you're not.
No.
Hold on, I got to switch over. You're not an Aries, are you?
April, mid-April.
April what?
11.
April 3rd.
Oh, nice.
I would have never guessed. See, I would have thought Capricorn or something else.
Oh. I don't know. I generally don't fit the mold.
I know that feeling. What site or program do you use to mine crypto? Nice Hash. Nice Hash. It's NICEHASH. It's you sign up for it, and then you can also download the Nice Hash Miner program. And then I use Coinbase as the exchange that I transfer all my cryptos over to. When I'm done, when it hits, you have to mine a certain amount of crypto before you can transfer it. So that's where the multiple cards comes in, because if the more cards you have, the faster you get to that point, then you can transfer it and spend it. You can spend it or cash it out and take the money. Juan says April 2nd. So it's pretty. It's a very user-friendly, what do you call it, program. It's very easy. So, like, if you go on there and check it out, you'll see it looks like garble-gook as soon as you look at it, but after about 5 minutes of just kind of reading, it's really it's like layman's terms, really. My hardest thing was I can build a system. How do I program it? And then I found Nice Hash, and I was like, oh. And that's what I love about being able to stream now, is that I can help people when they need help to set it up, because it's extremely easy. I'm still trying to get my brother into mining, because I know he could use the extra cash on occasion. Even if he doesn't want it, he could still use it. But
yeah,
horse to water kind of thing.
Yeah, lots of that out there. So, Stephanie, I'm glad you got your copper round. I hate to part with those. They're nice and shiny, and well, copper's in my name, so I got a good deal on those from my Circ out there. So I'll have to see if he's got any more coming up. Still got a few left, so maybe you'll get lucky again.
Do you ever do any auction streams?
I have not yet. I'm kind of torn on them, honestly.
You don't want to let go of your silver.
Well, I don't have really that much to give other than I'm more into constitutional and all that. I mean, I just don't get into all the bullion, or generics to be able to do too much with. I see a lot of drama out there with those too. Recently there's been some scammers that have kind of gotten in and caused some problems, and not that I'm just terrified of
Wait,
that or anything.
during an auction?
Oh yeah.
I know there was the thing about I think it was PE Stacker.
PE Stacker, yeah, he ran about a year-long scam on people.
I don't know. Well, he didn't. I never got scammed by him, but then again, he bought from me. I didn't I don't send anything until I get paid. So I don't know. But I guess he was like running up, getting people to pay more by pulling on the heartstrings. Making people feel bad.
Yeah. His wife died. His kid was in the hospital with cancer. I forget, his brother died, and they had to take on his kids and all that, and it all turned out to be lies. There was, I think, Everyday Opportunity went out, and I guess Everyday Opportunity hosted a stream where
I popped in there. That's how I found out about it.
I was just like, man, to successfully run a scam like that, you have to do a couple of things legitimately. So it sounds like he treated you legit.
Well, like I said, I didn't buy from him and get I didn't send him money. He sent me money. So
yeah, I mean, if
probably
you get the money,
buying the legit part, but then when he would go to resell it, he'd be, oh well, I need help and this and that, and sad story, stop.
And then get people to run auctions and just take whatever proceeds come from those auctions and donate it to you to help you out with your situation. I mean, there's been a few legitimate ones, but there's been a couple of them. I think Truck 'em for Silver or something like that was
Silver Chaser 21. Tried. Yeah. He bid on something of mine. Said he was in the hospital, and I was like, okay. And he's like, I'm having a procedure tomorrow. I'll be out by whenever. Never paid. I never sent him the items, thank God. But I kept emailing, and I wasn't the first one. Now some people are like, oh yeah, you got to give him time. He's doing this, that, and the other. So I waited, and I tried to wait as long as I could, but still no answer. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for this. So now whenever I do an auction, it's like you need to pay within minutes, otherwise I'm putting it right back up, because it's like eBay. If you hit buy it now, you better be sending some money. Otherwise, they're going to put a strike on you or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not to be mean. It's just like, let's get business done. Business first, and then go back to all the pleasantries and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a couple of graded items or a couple pieces of, Canadian silver. And, until recently, I didn't even have that. So, I'm probably still a little attached to it, but, days coming where I'll probably do something.
Has Jim Cantor come after you for your Canadian silver? I'd assume he's probably, if he's in here somewhere, he's drooling right now.
Yeah.
He loves all pennies and Canadian silver. I plan on buying the rest my sister has. And then seeing if he's interested, because he's the only person I know that loves that stuff.
Yeah.
Normally he'll trade me some other American silver for it, or U.S. I don't know what do you call it? Just U.S. silver versus a Canadian.
I don't know.
I had a whole tube of proofs. The first one was like a mirror proof, and then the rest were just proofs. But oh, there he is. Look. See? Eyeballs. Those eyeballs. He heard Canadian. He heard maple syrup.
You probably recognize that one.
Is that the one I sent you?
That's the one you sent me.
Oh, you can send it back.
Yeah.
What year is that
Along
one?
with
I
that
don't
Bitcoin,
remember.
right?
What year is that? You don't even remember? Wow. Really means a lot.
98.
Was that a specific year?
No, I think we were talking, if I didn't mind something with toning on it, that you had something, and this one looks
Oh,
like it's
I think you said
toning
you
on it.
didn't have any. You didn't have any
Oh,
ASCs at all.
I think I had one at that
Oh,
time.
well, see, you got to send it back now because I was sending it under the pretense that you had none. I was like,
Oh.
you got to have one. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Okay. Did you? Yeah, now your camera's like really. Blah.
It begins again, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely time to upgrade that poor laptop.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah. I did get
Now it's back.
a fun Canadian one the other day. It's actually got the eagle on it, or not the eagle, but the owl.
Hold on one second. It's like pixelated, so it's. Okay, it's not it's extremely clear on this end.
Yeah,
but yeah. I can get the gist of it. Who made it?
I mean, it's got the Queen on the other side. It's Canadian. So
what is it? Perth Mint or something like that? Jim Cantor, I know you're in there still. Who makes Canadian silver? Is it the Perth Mint or something like that? I thought it was.
I don't know. It's like a 2015 $5 wildlife series.
I want one of those glow-in-the-dark Canadian coins. Is that? I don't know if that's a joke about how shiny it was, or if there's an actual like colored glow-in-the-dark.
I know they do some that actually have color in them.
Royal Canadian Mint. Okay, thank you. And Mr. Cantor missed out on so much Canadian silver. I used to have these funny-looking like oval box sets. Each one, they were called the transportation coins. Each one was like $20. It said on it, $20 coins. And I sold them all to the one of the coin dealers up the road. There was one that was going anywhere from $20 to $70, and I let him have it for like 40. He was like, "Here, I'll take 40 for it." And he would have drooled. He would have probably had a stroke.
Yeah. I found a few good Canadian pennies and a nice $50 from an online auction a couple weeks ago. Just came in.
If you get a chance, I highly recommend these.
Okay.
Because it's got the Walker.
Yeah.
This one, and it's 1 ounce, but check this out.
Oh, got the Morgan head. Yep.
And it's a it's
1 ounce.
It's a 5 ounce. Now,
5. Wow.
Yeah, so it's like a matching set. I keep drifting this way. Unfortunately, the bag makes it look like trash. But I wanted the set, but I don't know if they make a 10 ounce that maybe has something else like the Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so, because that would just like really be awesome to have the complete set. But then I was like, you know what? I need to sell some because I was out of work. Crap, I was out of work for a whole month. Now I'm back into work, so that's great. But
yeah,
sure enough, while I'm taking leave for everything, the silver had to drop. Just couldn't go up. Had to drop. First to produce colorized coin for circulation. That's interesting.
I wonder if Garrett's still here. I still need to hear from him.
Ottawa Mint is the Canadian Mint. LNW. I meant to. Oh, glow in the dark toonies. What is a toonie?
Oh
Like a
yeah.
cartoon?
I think they've got loonies and toonies, and loonies actually like a bird, loon bird, or something like that.
Like the blue-footed booby?
Sure, let's go with that.
Well, you said like a loony bird, like a loon bird or something like that. That's I'm like, oh, like a blue-footed booby.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a real bird, but
Yep.
by golly, it is.
Let's see. Looney's a $1 Canadian. Toonie is a $2 Canadian. So I've got a $5 Canadian silver here. What do we call those? A foonie? I don't know.
All right. What is this?
Canadian dollar?
Is this a loony?
I think it is. I mean, I'm taking a stab here, but I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Fairly certain. Yeah, because I think a loon's like a duck or something like that. Waterfowl. That. Yeah, that trick. Yeah. Okay, so Shannon said that was a loony. Jim says that was a loony. That's a polar bear in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Two doll hairs.
Okay. Shannon says that's a toonie.
A loony and a toonie? Okay, so sweet. I want to get rid of them though. Because I don't what do I need these for? I'm in America. I'm not in Canada. These were in like all the money that my dad had gone abroad, and this was in the bags of all the money he brought back with him. And I'm like, okay, great. I've got some Canadian money, but I need to exchange it to someone who wants the crap because I can't spend it anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like $15-$20 here or something like that. 10 or 12. I don't know. It's like $10 worth of money I could be putting towards rolls and hunting.
There you go.
Well,
yeah.
Are they silver? No.
I'm actually getting pretty close on my Canadian penny book.
Oh, you got a Canadian penny book? Cent book?
Yep.
Penny book? Do they call them pennies and we call them cents?
Don't know. Let me grab it real quick.
Be counterfeit. Wait.
Actually probably struggling more with the modern stuff. I mean, I don't have anything more recent than 2004. So there's 8 years of stuff I don't have, but the older stuff.
No, these are not counterfeits. My dad would have gone to the bank and asked for Canadian money.
So
it's
getting there.
What years does it go from?
That one these are all small cents, starting in 1920 up through 88.
I'll keep an eye out for any Canadians there.
Yep. I just added the 20, the 21, and the 29 today.
I normally throw those right back into the roll. Like, nope, you're not going to take money from me. I used to have somebody online bought or exchanged. We'll just say they bought all my Canadian money. It was someone early on when I did like my first auction or something. I had a whole bunch of Canadian money. I still have a bag of like ridiculous amount of foreign change that I don't know what to do with it. There could be some expensive coins in there. Heck if I know. And I've tried to get rid of it for $5 or $10. So I can't take the whole bag. Do with it what you will with it, you know. Yeah. Nobody seems to collect foreign money.
I did treat myself for my birthday last spring, and I don't know. It's kind of a controversial piece, but I always appreciate things for the history, not necessarily, you know, because I own a Nazi coin doesn't mean I'm a Nazi. Okay.
Yeah, it's Nazi silver because the Nazis made it, but it doesn't mean that it's going to turn you into a Nazi.
Right. Yeah. I don't buy into all that crap, but yeah, it's kind of fun to have one. I think it was a 41, and you know, has the German eagle on it with the swastika beneath it. It's in decent shape, and it's just I appreciate the history and all the bad things that were tied to that whole era and the what was going on there. But like I said, you know, it's interesting to me from that perspective, not that I'm looking to.
Yeah, I just
movement here.
Don't paint me in a bad picture. I love the design. I just love the design of the eagle that's on it. The talons are gripping the wreath or whatever it is. I just love that design. For example, when I saw this,
Reichmarks is the money Hitler made, yeah.
This is totally fake. It's not real silver. But when I saw this, I had to have it.
Okay.
Now that's an iron cross, but you can see it's in the. It says it's silver. It's not. It's so fake. Like.
Right.
And it's in a plastic case, and it's sticking to it. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but I knew it was fake when I bought it. It was only $6, and it said not like it said German silver, but on the ad it says not real silver. So they sold it not it wasn't a scam, but I liked it because of the eagle on it. I just think that's a great design. Just always loved it. Now I don't care for the swastika in the middle of it, but I do like the eagle. But then again, what's my handle?
Right.
I'm all about the eagle.
Yep.
And what is that? Hotel California, who sings it?
Oh, yeah.
It's by the Eagles.
Yep.
But yeah, I've got a $50 and a dime and a quarter, all with the swastika eagle thing on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I forget. I think mine was like 10 Pfennig or something like that. But
who did I just? I have a whole bunch of the folders here for all the people that have won giveaways so far, so that hopefully they'll join in on a couple of my next auctions and build up more to send out before I send it out, so that I can make it worth the $5 shipping. But somebody I gave a Pfennig, a 1 Pfennig to. I don't know who, I can't remember now, but I gave it to somebody because I'm like, I'm never going to do anything with this.
Yeah.
Do you know who William Finds Pennies is?
Oh yeah, run into him several times.
He popped in the channel long time ago, like when I first started, and said,
knows quite a bit.
Huh?
That guy knows quite a bit.
Yeah, and supposedly he works for PCGS now as a grader.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When I first met him, he mentioned that he was in the process of taking the classes to be like a registered numismatist, which involved all the classes on grading and just how extensive that gets. And yeah, I was like, man, that's impressive.
Yeah, he was saying either on RFT or whatever that he was accepted as a grader. Again, I don't know how true that is. I would hope that it's not a falsity, a farcity. What's the word?
A farce.
A farce. Real Germans silver. And then aluminum N. Oh, Nazi. He hits a space bar. Aluminum N Nazi coin.
He's talking like Pauly Shore there.
And Nazi. Yeah, and Nazi. Jesus. I was just watching Encino Man the other day. Harsh toke, dude.
Yeah. It's a little before a few actors made it big.
That I think was Brendan Fraser's first, or his breakout role was what got him noticed.
Yeah, that was him, and then Sean Astin was in that before any of the Lord of the Rings, and
yeah, but he was already in Goonies.
He was already yeah. I mean, as a kid in Goonies,
okay, as an adult,
right, yeah, and I mean, I think I forget if that was pre-Rudy or not. I mean, everybody knows him as Rudy.
Read the last comment real fast, BH Ringer. Oh, he retracted it. He said
the one about working for the FBI or something.
Yeah, and the CIA.
Oh, I still see it.
Oh, it hasn't retracted for you. It did on my end.
Well, yeah,
maybe he has.
I've heard that too, and
that it might be.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Unless you want to do a background check, which I don't have time for that crap.
Yeah.
I just for me, I'm the kind of person, I'll take you for your word until you break your word, and then I don't believe a damn word you say. That's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You have to go to Colorado to take the PCGS test. Does he live in Colorado? I've never sent anything to him, so I don't know what's like. If I've shipped to you, I got it saved in a file, so I know who's who. But I've never sold anything to him. Although I think he asked for my brothel coin. You ever have a brothel coin?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
They're quite interesting.
There's no secret about what those might have been used for. Yeah. He's on palm most of the time. Yeah.
It on the front it shows the head or the bust, whatever, and then it says 1855 on the back. It used to say 1 cent, but somebody did a little finagling with the E and changed it to a different letter there.
A horseshoe.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, that's a $200 to $300 brothel coin.
Wow.
Now, again, I don't know how true that is. I would assume so, but Juan, $300, it's all yours.
So it's a little, I guess, in terms of brothel coins, you'd call that a modern one, not the ancient ones.
More modern?
Yeah. I mean, 1855, not.
Yeah, not the old ones that show like descriptive images. This one
we talked in symbols then. Yeah.
Negative Ghost Rider. He's like, I want a brothel coin. Said $300. He said negative Ghost Rider. All right, $2.99. Special today. Let's do it. Actually broke loose of the Rothschild central bank and made its own money. Reichmarks. Did you know? God, what was it? Deutschmarks are no longer a thing.
Thought I heard that.
Yeah, they're gone. I found that out when I took some to the bank. They're like, yeah, we can't exchange this. This is worthless. I'm like, but my dad brought them back, and I need to exchange it for actual money. Now we can't do it. It's worthless. I'm like, well, how do you get your money back? Well, you got to go to Germany. I'm like, all right, well, I guess that gives me a good reason.
There you go.
For $5 or 5 Deutschmarks, whatever that equates to here.
I'll have to bug my buddy who's over there. He's just recently promoted to a colonel in the Army, so he's Yeah, it's crazy because I went to high school with this guy. He graduates like a year before me, and I don't know any of his family history. Apparently, he's like third generation Army or something like that now, which I wouldn't have known that at the time. But I mean, he's just like clowning around and prankster and all that kind of stuff.
Never would have saw a colonel coming out of him.
Oh, good Lord, no.
That's how they how people can change. Like,
Yeah,
just
and he still looks like he's goofy as hell, but at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, you can do that, but if you're making Colonel, you got everything else in place, and you probably know a few people too.
oh yeah, you've kissed the right butts at the right time at the right place.
Yeah.
That's my brother's in the military, although he's like me. He's kind of stubborn when it comes to rules, where he wants to follow the rules just like I do, until
Until they don't make sense.
yeah, I guess you could say that, because like what I do for work, my buddy got me the job. He's not above me, like he can't send me home. He can't do anything with that because we're both supervisors, but he's a senior supervisor, so he can do interviews and but he can't fire. I don't know, like he can. I don't know what else he can do. But like he wants, like there's certain rules that we're supposed to follow, but then he won't follow them, and then it's okay if he doesn't. But then I'll say, all right, well, since you're not following the rules, I'm not going to follow the same rules that you didn't follow, because I'm going to show you how stupid this is that you didn't follow these rules. And then he sees it and he's like, well, you got to follow those rules. Well, then you do it too. Let's all follow the rules here. Otherwise, it's going to be anarchy. And but my brother is not one to kiss butt per se to get higher up ranks. But he's in the military. I think he's in E5 or something like that. I don't know much about military rankings and whatnot. I know he's not a private, because that's like right when you come in and you're like, right, you're a grunt. You're below the poop that you've stepped on.
Yeah.
He's a medic that trains medics.
Okay.
So I assume he's at least E5 first. I don't know if it's first class or something. I'm not sure. I probably get all my like master sergeant sounds like the diving or Navy kind of thing, like dive for diver.
He's in what, Army?
Yeah. He's a he's got to be a
sergeant. That's a sergeant.
I don't think he's a sergeant. No, wait. Yeah, sergeant, because on his voicemail it says Sergeant Hendershot. You've reached Sergeant Hendershot. Okay, so yeah. There you go. I had to think of that, because every time he doesn't pick up, he goes, "You've reached Sergeant Hendershot." Oh, okay.
Yep. Step above a corporal and a step below a staff sergeant at E6.
So he's E5, right?
Yeah. There's somewhere in there when you look at like the enlisted and the officers, and I don't know, I got a neighbor that was Army for a while. I think he was actually drill sergeant for a bit, but he was trying to explain to me that, so far as pay goes, or who salutes who, obviously when you're enlisted, the higher your number, you got to keep saluting on up there. But there's somewhere where like E6 and O2 are about the same.
So I thought everybody saluted everybody just out of respect. But I remember watching, well, at least movies show that the lower salutes the higher, then the higher responds. Like, like you show me respect, then I show it to you.
Yeah,
because I'm above you. You know.
Yeah.
Like
I've gotten the chance to work on like several National Guard locations in Oklahoma and Fort Carson out at Colorado Springs, Fort Rucker down in Alabama, and it's You
Ever
know,
go to West Point?
I have not been to West Point.
Make that a trip.
I have been to Carlisle, Pennsylvania at the Army War College, though. That was interesting.
Got to go to West Point, pick up some coins. Straight out of the machine.
That would be nice.
Machine, like, all right, that one's minted. I'll take that one. Where's that W machine at?
Yeah, I gotta. Well, I'll be going out to the Bay Area starting Sunday for 2 weeks, and
wait, Bay Area,
San Francisco Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought of California, but I'm like, where in the heck is the Bay Area in California? And I couldn't put San Fran in there.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd have to check and see if the Mint's open for any tours. Since I'm going to be out there over a weekend, I'm like, might as well if I can.
Oh yeah, San Francisco, huh? Do they do tours of the Mint still or again?
I did a little looking. I don't think they're doing it in Pennsylvania, but then I thought I saw somebody say San Francisco, but it's kind of limited. But I mean, there's only one real way to find out, and just call them up.
How do you get out of going to court to testify for the state against a defendant? I just got a subpoena. You don't. Or you can say, I really don't have any information on this case. Unless you do. And then just morally, you should do what you think is morally right. As far as that goes. Good night, Shannon, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim talked to AW Ranch. Oh, yeah. Isn't he a cop? He's a federal agent, I think. A Fed. He's a cop, or he's one of those. He's in the law enforcement of some sort, or a law related. War College.
Like John Jacobs is 25 miles from the War College. Yep.
Well, I don't want to go. I wouldn't want to go to the War College. You only teach a war.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience because I was out there doing like a pre-bid job walk, before we even competed for some work out there, and we're asking, okay, what buildings do you want to do things in? Are there buildings that are off limits? And if they're off limits, why? Well, we found out one that was on like the National Historic Registry, and they're like, yeah, we'd love to do something with that one, but we really can't touch it for that reason. And so we just keep inquiring about it a little bit just to kind of, make sure we know why we're staying away from it. And it turns out that it's the one building that's still standing from the 1700s that's on that site. I'm just, tend to just kind of walk up around it, like that. Like, we don't have old castles from 1400 or anything like that. It's these are the cool little old rundown but historical buildings that we find. So that was kind of cool. Other projects I've gotten to go out to. I've gotten to see the linear accelerator at Los Alamos. Been to Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and seen the Calutron where we enriched uranium for the Hiroshima bomb. Actually walked through that building. It's not used for that anymore, but I mean, there's just some of these, like, God, the brain power that brought these things to life is just hard to comprehend.
I need to travel more. Come on, 1 penny, Shiba.
There you go.
1 penny, 10 cents. Let's get in the millions here. Heck with it. Everybody buy Shiba. We got to get this up. I gotta cash it out when it hits the penny. Need to go traveling.
Yep.
60 miles to
go.
Called 911. Oh, wow. Called 911 one time because it looked like this guy was trying to kill his girlfriend. Huh. You're stuck in that one, man. I would just describe what you saw, and that's it. like, this is what I saw on this day at this time, blah. If hopefully she's not dead, hurt, or injured, and like, there's not much else I can tell you other than I called because it looked to me like something was going on. Other than that, can I go home? I got food on the stove, and it's 60 miles. I left the stove on.
Sounds like a good case of no good deed and goes unpunished.
I don't think I could ever count how many times I've tried to do something good for somebody that I don't know, and it backfire on me. And I keep trying. You think somebody would learn? Like, what? Never mind. I just can't help myself.
Yeah. I think being about 1 o'clock here now, I'm going to wrap things up. So I definitely need some sleep now.
Right.
So,
well, like I said, if you're interested in talking more about getting a better PC built up, like I said, I've got parts galore, and I'm looking to get rid of at least 2, whether they be gaming or just for streaming or whatever. I've been building everything for gaming / streaming because I figure if it can do that, it can do everything else. And I don't know what, like, I mean, I have one that would stream, but not game. That's newer than what you have.
mm-hmm.
Well, I would game, just not like this, like not what I do, like the games I run.
Right.
I do have one of those that would, like, I told my buddy at work, $250, it's his. And that's just the tower. You would buy a monitor from whatever store and pop it down and good to go. But
I've even told my kid, I don't know if there's much truth in this, but it seems like, during COVID, I've had some luck with, my work computer and setting up a couple different monitors. I actually I created my own little mega desk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I look at plans from time to time for, mechanical, electrical plans for stuff. And so I figured, well, I've got my little, Surface Pro that I have at work. And then I got about a 17-inch monitor over to the left. Well, I'm just like, well, shoot, I'm a HDMI to USB-C converter away from having a 42-inch plan viewer right there, that I call a TV most days. And I do that when I'm on the road in the hotels. Just plug that in. That becomes my second monitor. And that works really well for me. So I've just told him, I'm like, if you want a big monitor and you're using HDMI cables anyway, go get yourself a cheap TV. It could work.
It can. The only problem with some TVs is the text like funky. Text looks like crap. Everything else looks great, but text on monitors is not the same as on a
monitor made for a PC.
Yeah. So, and monitors are pretty cheap nowadays. I got two 27 inches, and I paid $229. I mean, I obviously bought one, used it for a while, and then came back later and bought the second one. But I bought 2 of them. I didn't buy. You could just buy one, and it's 27-inch screen is fine. This, I don't know if you can see it, but the screen behind me, that's a 24-inch right there. I'm just kind of hovering my finger over it. That's a 24-inch. So you can see to scale. I mean, it's a standing behind it. Here's the box to the video card, and you can see this box to me as far as scale. It's a pretty big monitor. That's probably the worst rendition or idea of scale, but that one was $100, Best Buy, or 119. It's a Samsung curved, so it's sorry.
Yeah.
It's curved. So
I'm going to tell him to just keep going with the one he's borrowing from a friend of ours to kind of get him up and going, so he didn't just have a computer in a box and nothing to do with it. I'm going to tell him, it's like, hey, guess what? Here in about 5 or 6 weeks, things go on sale.
When is? Oh, Black Friday's coming.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Forget Black Friday. Well, Cyber Monday happens right after that. So it's like, I honestly, man, I got my TV for $698. It's a 75-inch LG on Black Friday. I don't think I bought any computer parts on Black Friday though. They've been pretty. I've just happened to buy them way before there was demand.
Yeah.
But you might be able to find a really good video card, which if you're going to build a PC, which is always recommended, because like if you want the computer to have Wi-Fi built in, you want to buy a motherboard that has Wi-Fi. If you want to do rendering, you want to buy a processor that's powerful enough to do it. Power supply is just dime a dozen. Case is dime a dozen. And then if you just want it to have a certain look, then you can pick the case you want, because they have white, black, gray, silver, blue, all that.
Yeah.
But I would highly recommend looking around for Black Friday for a video card or a sweet monitor. And I mean just sweet as in price. And then if you need a big, huge monitor, then you know what you're looking for. But 27, more than big enough. Except for my neighbor who's half blind. He needs a 45-inch sitting in front of him.
Zoomed in.
And he's still like this.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Magoo.
I worked with a guy that down in downtown Kansas City. He, I think he was actually medically declared legally blind. And he would have like huge TV. He'd be really close to it and have like a magnifying glass there. It almost looked like the cycloptic eye. And he's reading words like 2-3 letters at a time. That's, I don't know how, I don't know what that feels like. That would be pretty bad.
I'm trying to grab this little guy for
oh yeah, I think I've met him on one of the streams before.
He got into my stove and chewed my stove apart. He killed my stove, so now I need to buy a new stove. He got stuck and his little back legs were poking out of the thing. He chewed the wires and killed it before my daughter, she went to turn the stove on, but it was tripping the circuit breaker. And his little legs were sticking back in there, and he had killed the safety switch. And lucky for him, because she would have cooked him.
Yeah.
And little punk. So now he sits in here, so I can keep an eye on him, so he doesn't go gallivanting around the house anymore.
Yeah.
And the dogs can't get to him in here. I mean, they can see him, but they can't. He can't get in there. He's so bony right now. He was like half dead, poor thing.
No.
But yeah.
All right.
Sweet, dirty little hamster.
Well, we'll have to do it again sometime. I'll try and get back with you and let you know what we got. And I don't know. I think you've got my emails from before. So if you've got an idea what you might be able to put together for streaming or something, maybe just kind of let me know.
All I need to know is what programs you plan on doing with it. Like what kind of different programs, whether it be for streaming or gaming or just whatever main programs that have. I only need to know the names because I can look up those system requirements. Then do you want to get into part-time mining where you mine when you're not streaming? That way you're making your money back. Because that's the big thing I always thought of. Well, it's sitting here, it might as well make me my money back. And then after that, you can look at it one way. It's either giving you more money after it pays you back, or it's paying you back for everything else you've ever bought in your life in the past. So returning on investment of all that stuff slowly over time. I like to think of it that way because then it feels like everything I've ever done in my life way back then, I got to do it for free as this pays me back for all that stuff. But it'll take a while.
Yeah.
So just those kind of things I need to know.
Okay.
and where your budget sits, like what kind of money you'd like to stay near, that kind of stuff. Nothing too crazy. But you've already kind of said that. But
Yeah,
I just need to know what. Mhm.
we'll see where it goes, because I should be getting a nice tax refund here back, probably about the end of the month. But
I'm waiting to hear back from my tax guy.
my company does bonuses in December, and we're kind of one of those companies that probably pay salaries just a little below the average, but we bonus really nicely because we're 100% owned, employee owned. So
Okay.
we do some nice bonusing. So it could be that I'm like, okay, well, I've got X saved, but it's going to be augmented by 2-3 times. It's possible to do something really good. I just don't know yet.
Yeah. See, for me,
The oldest son needs a car because he needs to drive to work, that kind of crud.
I recommend a Camaro. Get him a Camaro.
Don't go for the Lamborghini. Go for the Camaro, huh?
Well, I mean, they make them in V6 and they look fantastic. Just don't get red.
Yeah.
Mine's red, and cops eyeball me until they run my plate and realize I'm 40, and they're like, "Oh," they pull off. Like, he's not going fast.
Yep.
He just looks fast.
Yeah.
There was something I was going to say before that. Yeah, pretty much all I need to know is like what kind of programs. That way I know what's required. And you know how they have required and recommended settings?
Mm-hmm.
The recommended is the next step up. That's what I need to know, because you never want to try and run something on the bare minimum, because it just never does good.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of get the feeling I'm running on the ragged edge on this thing. What's really crazy, I use Streamlabs for all the streaming that I do, and until now I've had very few problems with it. And just Saturday, after about 45 minutes, it would start bogging down, and
because Streamlabs, I haven't used Streamlabs in a while.
Yeah.
Does it have? Let me bring it up. It might complain because I have my
Yep.
my camera going. Does it have a green, like on OBS? Just OBS, it gives you a little square at the bottom right. It shows green, yellow, or red for your bit rate on how good it's streaming. I don't know if this has one of those. And of course, it picked up the camera it's trying to use this camera. So I guess I could stream twice from 2 different streamers. That's cool. I don't know. I know it tells me if the
how the quality of your feed and all that.
Yeah, like right now it's telling me 60 frames per second, dropped frames. Oh, kilobits per second. So I can actually have that performance window. Oops, what did I do? Crap.
Yeah, Streamlabs has like the percentage of your CPU being hammered away at, the drop frames, the kilobytes per second. It's got like 4 key things that you can kind of monitor while you're doing it.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, like, OBS just has a light, a green, yellow, and red. Yeah. I found that sometimes you just got to restart the whole computer, and then you'll have a nice clean, because whatever's in the RAM is still there. It's still like hogging up memory, and then your stream goes to crap. I found that out. Like, you should always restart your entire computer before streaming, because then whatever you were running in the background at some point earlier in the day is gone. So it doesn't have any cached memory used up. Yep.
I did that twice on Saturday when I had my regular stream going. And so there's part 1, part 2, and part 3 of my stream to get through the whole thing. But it finally crapped out as I was closing out and doing, into stream giveaways. And And so, afterward, I'm like hunting people down in other streams that they've run off to, and pissing off the host of that stream because I'm talking about my stream on theirs. But I don't always play by the rules, especially if I don't have somebody's email address and they think, well, there's 100 other ways to get a hold of somebody. I was like, yeah, I don't have a phone number. I don't have an email. I'm doing this. Just don't get out.
Get it done.
Man. Yeah. I'm not here to take over your stream.
Yeah. I just need their emails. Email me because you were on my stream.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't. Did you see this? And do we need to email?
Yeah. For those of you that were in my stream, please email me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't care if people come in and do that. There are. Oh God. That's a whole loaded conversation for another time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We can't afford to be that picky.
But if you reboot once and it doesn't fix it, then you're definitely at your threshold of what you can do with that computer. Streamlabs OBS is a very resource heavy. It loves the resources. So
I even turned the latency down to ultra low.
That's actually worse.
Really?
It's worse because it takes more resources to do that than to go, because the more, like right now it's live to me and you. But what they're seeing is 15 seconds from now. So like 15 seconds from right now, YouTube's going to see me saying 15 seconds from now. But you're hearing me right now over StreamYard. It takes more resources to do that than for YouTube to stream it a few seconds from now.
Sure.
So like when you're streaming it on either Streamlabs or OBS and you tell it ultra low, it's going to suck up more memory to do that because it's got to store it in the computer and then shove it over there quickly, so that all the processes is just taking up more resources. So if anything, go the other way. Normal, not low or ultra low. Go normal, and then it'll take up less resources.
I'll try to do that. What's so funny is it normally it kind of defaults to low when I launch it, and
that would be the thing. The program is default low. Yeah, in the middle, it's medium.
Right, and up until now, I'd had very few problems. Just a couple of instances, but more. YouTube had an issue, and bumped me out.
It's just buffering.
Yeah, and so without making any changes to that, and I don't know if they've pushed an upgrade or something like that. I haven't accepted an upgrade here lately, but just between Saturday having to reboot twice, and then tonight, at least on Saturday, I was getting like 45 minutes before things started to buffer and bog down to where I had to reboot and restart. Tonight, it was like, you got a minute, go. And it went from like 15% of the CPU up into like the 80s.
See, I don't even know. Hold on. I don't know if that's going to. Mine is at 10%, 9%, 25% memory. But then again, I do have 48 gigs.
You're kind of kicking its ass there.
It's.
And I've got like nothing else open besides my scope and Streamlabs.
And what's funny is because I have StreamYard and I have YouTube open, two different windows, the YouTube is taking up memory too. So if I close that, not worry about looking at that, and just bring up the comments page on StreamYard and just use StreamYard, you'll free up a lot of resources. But I like to see what they're seeing, how long it's taken. I like to see that. So like right now, Microsoft Edge is taking a lot. I use Edge. I know a lot of people are like, oh. I'm using up more memory and processor power than I need to, just because it's a sense of pride, I guess. But it's still at 10%. And it says power usage is medium to high. I don't know if that, and it looks like it's just for Microsoft Edge. I think. I've never actually looked in. Oh, GPU. GPU is on high because I've got 2 streams going. This one and that, or the 2 videos open. I bet you if I close down the one, it would literally shut up. Hold on.
LNW is thinking the browsers did something. Getting ready for Windows 11 or something. I don't know.
I don't even know. See, this is saying I have 13 things open for. That can't be right.
Yeah, LNW is saying the same thing. He's got 3 tabs open with 13 things open in his task manager.
What, Microsoft Edge?
I don't know.
See, like, yeah, now I'm down to 7%. Closing that down. Like memory, I'm down to 23%. So I dropped 2% of my 48 gigs by getting rid of that. So like, yeah, I don't know if you do that when you're streaming with OBS and then YouTube, like watching YouTube off to the side in a different window to see that. Like I've got 2 different tabs open, and because I have 2 screens, I split them. I have OBS over here on one monitor, and then the other monitor's got YouTube, or the YouTube Studio panel.
Yeah.
That's not the same because it's only got that tiny window, but it's still got a window showing what is being streamed to YouTube, just so I make sure that YouTube's getting the feed.
Yeah.
But if I close that out, well, now that I figured out OBS can connect to YouTube directly and give me the chat box, I don't have to use that anymore. I can see the chat on OBS now. So the whole, before it was, I had to have it open to see the chat. Otherwise, I'd just be talking to the monitor and never respond to anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I wish people were here.
Yeah, I started off using OBS, and I think things were going okay, but then I don't know. Sometimes I wonder even then if the laptop that I'm operating off of now is just so on the edge that things like picking up a secondary monitor and switching to that for things like random comment pickers and stuff like that, so it's visible. It didn't want to do that in OBS, and in Streamlabs it doesn't want to do it there either. And I'm just like, this is like the simplest thing. You pick it, you open it, you tell it which monitor. Yeah, I can see like the little yellow box around the screen comes up, and there's only so many options there. And I think I've tried every combination to do it. But, I'm thinking is, okay, well, maybe it's just what I'm trying to work with and the limitation of the computer. Maybe it's just not able to handle it. I don't know. There's certain things that I know that OBS can still do that Streamlabs does. It just like Streamlabs had a few more gadgets that were easier to pick apart and put together, when you're setting it up, to where I was just like, okay, well, I'll give it a try, and then I just never really went back.
I like Streamlabs.
I enjoyed OBS more though.
I like Streamlabs OBS over regular OBS because, like, buying the overlays, which I did for mine. That's why I found some for OBS, which is the music that comes on and, the stream starting. But then I have one that's in OBS that's totally different. But I normally like to use OBS for gaming because all the overlays are kind of game related.
Yeah.
Same with my camera image is down here. I think on this screen, I got it right where my hands should be. My camera's over here, surrounded in a little box. And then there's like little boxes beneath it that if somebody sends me, if they send me a donation, it'll pop up my most recent donator. And then if they send me bits, which is a Twitch thing, it'll show me what they sent. And then my chat box is over here. I don't know if you're seeing it right. Like, this is my right hand. So my chat box is on the right on the left of my screen. I don't know if you're seeing it reversed or not, but
Yeah.
It's got its own overlay thing that I paid for.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to use it more. But have you ever seen Big Flip Coins?
Mm-hmm.
He's got the whole, or
Yep.
Coin Crew too.
Yep.
They use Streamlab OBS, and then they have the little games for Hangman and whatnot. And I'd love to be able to do that, but I can build a computer, I can stream, I can mine Bitcoin, but I can't figure out these stupid games on these damn that kind of stuff. I'm just like right over my head.
Yep.
I'm a moron.
And I found some of them work, some of them don't. For me, and I have a hard time understanding that. It just took me spending like 1 or 2 nights kind of plowing through it and looking at what all the commands out of OBS or Streamlab OBS were, and what do I do with them, and how do I get them turned on, things like that. So that's all I did.
You must get one of these.
I know you've showed me that before, and I'm kind of putting it on the wish list for Christmas.
I don't know why that didn't work. Why did that not work? Oh, it's not running. But anyway, this works. Oh, you're not even running. Why? That's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be full blast. Yeah, some of these, the other two are not, they're vulgar ones, so I can't play those. But I wanted it so I could quickly, like I have Streamlabs is all right here. OBS is all these. And then these are web pages. Position moves everything around. And then these are more web pages like AOL, Instagram, Discord, YouTube, Twitch. And I haven't filled it up. Wait a minute. There we go. This was OBS. This is OBS down here. This is, you can see the color differences just a little bit. Those are Streamlabs. Then I got a couple games like Among Us. That's like this huge, it was at least trending quite a bit. So I was trying to do a lot of Among Us games and GTA 5.
Yeah.
Mow down some people and,
Yeah. Well, my kids watch YouTube replays of people playing Among Us all the time. My kid actually went to his band rehearsal for marching band tonight in high school, and they do every time they do Monday night.
We have 2 of them.
Yeah.
$260.
Yeah, I know. It's on my wish list. But yeah, whenever they do a marching band practice on Monday night, they do like a theme, and this one was space. And I don't know where, is Among Us done in space or something like that, but he took like a sweatshirt, and the kid's actually like a mad scientist. He figures things out most people would just look at and walk right past, but he what did he do? He took like a sweatshirt and ended up putting his legs through the arms and pulled the rest of it over him, and then took like a Tupperware dish and put it over his face, like a clear plastic one. And so that gave it the look of that shield that's on Among Us, and the rest of him just looked like, this red guy running around, doing his thing. And I'm just like, why the hell would you do that? But he figured it out.
One, it's funny, and 2, it's kind of cute. The little characters, they're just, and they got this little backpack with no arms that they could never get into this backpack.
Yep.
With no straps because they don't have arms. So we're this, it's just one big giant head.
Yeah, I mean, he's running around with his arms, tucked in like that, and I think he actually had a backpack on underneath it to give it that look. And I'm just like, man, it's a good thing you're paying attention, because I wouldn't have been able to tell you what in the world you were. So,
yeah, it's a fun game though. It really is. If you ever get a chance, try it out. You can play it on your phone. I wouldn't want to try it on my phone, honestly, but I mean, you can. It's one of those simple, it doesn't take any processor usage or anything to do it. And it's it's a game of deception and detective work and whatnot. So if you've ever, I don't know if you've ever liked those kind of idea games or whatever, detective-like games, you're talking to real people trying to figure out if they're lying to you or telling you the truth. And it's I didn't think I was going to like it. I thought it was going to be, because it's so cartoony, I thought I was going to hate it. And I kept thinking, no, obviously I'm 40, 41. I'm like, that's a kid's game. It's definitely a kid's game. Then I'm realizing all these adults are playing it because it's really bringing out, like, it's an adult game. You have to figure out, are they lying? Did they do the murder? You know, did they do the thing they said they were doing? And little kids, like, I'd say 13 and younger, they probably just run around and kill, like, I killed them, you know. Or they don't have the idea to be conniving, I guess.
Yeah.
Or deceiving.
Yeah.
Owl among us, among us.
It's French for us.
No, sus. Like
sus.
the sus. Le is the sus. Like you're the suspect. I think. Le sus would be the sus. Tired and fail-eyed. I'm not sus. So many letters are missing here. I'm tired and failed. I'm not sus enough and ick.
Yeah.
I see. Sick. I want to say sick. That looks like sick. Like maybe you've got a cough, a cold. I don't know. There's too many emojis in the middle of those sentences. Like,
I don't read too well in emoji.
He loves hamsters and cats, or something in cats. At Owl Among Us. Brill costume. Love. Dat triple box. All right, now I need it. Let me hold on.
Yeah.
It's right here. This is what you need to be a detective, right here. Let's figure this out. Like, let's figure this out here.
I got my loop.
Yeah, shit. You ever seen a loop this big?
Nope.
And I talk about having its baby right next to it.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it's a dupe.
Oh, you got bifocal.
It's twins. This one I got at the local coin dealer. He's like, I was like, holy crap, that's huge. And he's like, does my eye look big?
Yeah.
He's like, you want it? I was like, well, yeah, what do you want for it? And he's like, just have it. You can have it. I'm like,
wow.
And then because I told him I had a small one, but this one here, it's got two different. You double them up to have about. I'd say probably the same. Oh wow! I don't know how big my eyes are looking, but like I can actually see all the dust on these.
There.
But this big one's great for the camera because I can shove it under the camera and it brings up those errors really well. Cool. This one, I guess it's
read the emojis.
Read the emojis. I did. I tried.
Yeah.
Tried and failed. I can't cry laugh. I don't know how you do that. I can't laugh cry like that. And then Halo ick. I don't know what that is. That's
a big one.
Okay, you know how I said having Nazi silver doesn't turn you into a Nazi? It does turn you into a grammar Nazi. My brain is exploding right now on some of these spelling. That's a big one. Baby, bet the lady. I don't know what that gray thing is. Is that a cat? Hold on. That is it's a cat, a heart. I love you, Mr. Pro. The lady. Angel. And Anelic? Angelic? I figured you were trying to say angelic with the first one.
Oh, okay. Early up there, enough and angelic.
Wait, what? How far up?
Okay. Back one of the first ones we were reading. It's like that old. It's like that old game show Concentration when you get the numbers, matched up, and then it reveals the puzzle behind. I don't know how to put those together very well.
Yeah, there's no way in heck, because that's two of them. There's not one angel. That's not technically an angel. That's being
angels
honest. I want to say honesty. Like
then the gray thing's a koala. It looks like.
That the lady cat? Lady cool. It looks like a cat under the gigantic well, it actually looks like a lot of pixels, but it looks like it could be a koala, it could be I don't know what that is supposed to be. A koala, huh? Totes, my goats? I don't know. Totes. Totes, toadies, tooties, toots, magoots. I don't know. What that is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bad speller, and keys don't always type. Don't eat over your keyboard. Rule number 1. Or drink. And don't fall asleep on your keyboard. 3 ways to keep them from getting sticky keys.
Yep.
And keep the kids away from your computer. It's a cat, but he said koala. Angel, koala. You ever seen the Da Vinci Code?
Yeah,
I think we found the new resurrection of Da Vinci right here, right now. And Mr. Marmello, I want to say I'm a little distraught at the fact that I have not seen you in my stream for months.
I don't think I've seen him in my stream, so maybe he's tracking you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been noticing a lot of people in other streams, and I try and say hello, like, "Hey, why haven't you been in my stream?" I get crap answers. Just garbage. Oh, well, busy. Oh, too busy for my stream, but not busy enough for everyone else's. I see.
You've got 4 others open.
Yeah. I have 20 streams. You can add another tab. Especially when there's giveaways. That's when people show up. That's when you're like, I'm giving away silver. Hey!
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I gave, were you there? I gave Stephanie, because I gave Stephanie something because she was there the entire stream.
Yep.
She didn't have to win anything. I just gave it to her. Like, you're just going to get something for being very, very devoted. A devout follower.
Yeah.
I believe, like, that's something I think I'm going to do from now on is devout followers will get free crap. It's not going to be crap, but they'll get something free for being there the whole stream. Not just lurkers. Lurkers are the ones that are just looking for the free, get in on the free stuff.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't really care, but
yeah. I think when you teased me about that the other day, I was just like, dude, I just got in here.
You're like, bruh. I don't know where that came from, but wherever that sound happened, do it again.
It was funny.
Bruh. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I am in whatever stream. All other nights of the week, I have some sort of plans. Well, those plans got to wait.
Yeah, gotta have priorities here, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he does.
I don't think so either. I don't remember seeing your name in my stream. And that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because I stream more than just coin stuff. I actually stream video games on occasion and mining stuff, like talking about mining, of course. What else do I stream about? I take videos of my dogs. I guess I'll move this camera because, for example, there's Lilo and Stitch. They are not this old anymore or this young, although I wish they were. These are my pups, and they do make an appearance on my stream. Lilo had, for a short while there, a silver sniffing snout. Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, careful.
And she has found, if you go back through some of my videos, you'll find one where she picked out the box, and there's silver in it. In the next box, nothing. And she did it 6 or 8 boxes in a row.
Wow.
Where she found a buttload of silver compared to the other boxes. There was one where that had like 20 or 30, and the other one had 1. Maybe not that many, but like a much bigger difference. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have fixed her. Maybe I should have bred her.
Yeah. Hey Juan, feel free to look mine up and throw me a sub too.
Who's he says I'm subbed. Who you subbed to? LNW, you're subbed to
I know he's subbed to me.
Make sure you change yours if I were you, Copper, and make it that chatters should be subbed. That's a privilege. Yeah. It's a privilege. I changed it. At first I wasn't doing that, but then I'm like, you know what? You got to be a sub to chat, and you have to be in chat to get free giveaways.
Good point.
It's free to sub.
Yep.
And if they want more free crap, the subbing helps pay for more stuff. Yep. Especially if once you get once you get monetized. Thank you, Juan. Make sure he's sub to you, right? He's got to be. You got more people than I do.
I don't know.
I hope he subbed to you first.
I don't know.
Please check. Please
go double check one.
Please to check. You got right over my head. Yo, love cat. Crap, I forget that nasty.
Saw my fails earlier. Yes.
What was that?
Oh, Juan says he's already subbed to me, although very recent. He saw my fails earlier.
It smells like old people.
Uh-oh.
I was like this, just like I was like, ugh.
oh, distinct old man smell.
Like old people. That's like those $50, the $100 bills I had. Brian Lytle has them now. They smell like old formaldehyde. They're brand new though. Although very recent, I saw your fails earlier.
Yeah.
What fails?
Oh, you could probably.
Are there videos?
I took the first 2 down because they were just complete junk.
Okay. Fail streams.
Basically venting a little bit. But the last one I actually tried one last time to get Streamlab to work. I had a whole new, I had like a 70's theme that I had worked up since all these DDOs that I'm looking for are all on 1970s coins. So I'm like, I'm a fool if I don't do something like, and that's why I just started naming it, that 70's DDO Hunt.
That's interesting.
Got a little tie-dye and stuff like that. I figure, it's a little departure from the norm for me.
I would shrink it just a little bit more myself and be like, that 70's Hunt.
Yep. Yeah.
Because like the show.
Yeah.
Because it's only 3 words. That 70's show.
Yeah. It's nothing short of me over-engineering something, as always.
Or even closer to that 70's show, that 70's DDO.
Yep.
Still ends the same. Oh.
Yep.
That 70's DDO.
Yep. Yeah. I'm playing around with it, so we'll get it right.
Just sometimes same time as Matt. Wait, who's Matt?
Me.
Oh, that's your name. I didn't even. Wait a minute. Is it Vander?
Yep. Vander Creek.
Oh, okay. Duh.
Yep.
See, I know everybody by their screen name, not by their, except for Brian. He's the only one I know by. Well, actually, there was Rob Wenzel, but he's disappeared too. Like I've had 1,000 people come in and like, then I've sent stuff to so many people that they don't even come in the chat their thing anymore. Like Buckets, where did he go?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few that I've been curious where they went to.
There's a few that are like like. Have you ever sent anything to a Siren Silver Stash?
No.
I've tried. The address comes up on Google. Where's that sound coming from? The bruh?
It's not me.
1 hour. Oh my God. It says 1 hour of silence broken by the occasional bruh. It's a YouTube video that somehow I clicked on, or it switched over to that, and that's perfect timing though. Twice.
Yeah.
That thing, like when I said something before, and you're like, it was like, bruh. Oh, when I called you out about coming in the chat, right then it played, bruh.
Oh.
That was perfect timing.
That's great. So
I should definitely have that going throughout one of my streams, and see if it does perfect timing, like finding silver.
Yeah.
Speaking of silver, have you been doing any $50 hunts? Have you been getting any boxes?
Yeah. Yep. I've actually had pretty good luck with it.
What'd you find last? What was your last finds?
Last box was Saturday, and Walker Magnet had it. We actually did really well.
Wait, Walker Magnet, he was the donator?
Yeah, he was a donator. Yep.
Okay.
And, he bought the whole box, and I usually just do the one box. And I got a proof. I got at least the 74 DDO on the stream. So that's the one DDO that I did get. I didn't get anything tonight. Had 12 NIFCs, including a 87D. I had 6 40s, and we were sitting there just, okay, 90's all we need. I've never filled a board, with that. And
you've never filled a board yet?
Not with only one box.
It'll happen.
I've come well. It happened with Walker Magnet being the guy that was donating, and all we needed is a 90. What do you think would be perfect irony that pops up?
A Walker.
We found a Walker.
What year though? 44.
I think it was. I might have it here. What did we get him? I like my new spot. I can just reach up to my shelves instead of walk across the room.
I so badly want another desk, but I don't. Like, this desk is not good for streaming, for the other kind of streaming I want to do. Because I was even thinking about doing PC builds or mining rig videos, like building them, like doing, or maybe just making one video. But this desk is only good for coins. Like, I would need to have another room built in my house to have another streaming desk.
Yeah. My eyes are bad this hour. So 47.
I was going to say 37 or 44. 44 is my first guess, but 37 would have been my other.
47D.
47D.
I was hoping that it would fill a spot in his book, but I guess he said, no, I actually just filled that earlier today, that exact spot. So I'm like, that would have just
all he's got to do is compare condition. Which one's better?
And this one's obviously toned. It's darker. I mean, instead of being like that blast white on the edge, finding silver in a roll, this one was like dark.
So this one here, this isn't a Walker, but I was showing this the other day. I was looking, who was it? Christina M. I think she was born in 51, and she came in. It was around her birthday or whatever, and Mr. Lytle sent me a 51 Benji to send her because I didn't have one, and she wanted one, but I had a 51 a dime, so I put a little envelope together. Brian sent me the 51 Benji, but then the next day, after Brian had already committed to sending me a Benji, sure enough, I found this the next day.
Oh,
now, if you look at it, it's actually in really good shape for being in a box.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Look at the difference on the back. Now, this side is straight up and down.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to flip it directly over.
Oh, you got about 15 degrees of turn there.
Yeah. I didn't even notice it until the other stream. I was like, yeah, look at this nice Benji. And I flip it over. They're like, wait a minute, do that again. And I said, okay. You know, and they're like, go slow. And I said, okay. And they're like, yeah, it's misaligned. I was like, does that make it worth more? Even if it doesn't, it's just nice, you know, to find it.
Good conversation piece, yeah.
Yeah, so when you said Walker found a Walker or Walker magnet, magnetized a Walker out of the box for him, I thought, I was like, hey, that's kind of like this. She needed a 51. I didn't have one, but then I got one the next day. And
we had a box about 5 or 6 weeks ago. We pulled 1140s out of, so
oof,
it's not too bad. But I mean, granted, between this last one, that one with the 1140s, it's been one or two. And I've gone several boxes where I got nothing out of, absolutely nothing.
The one, what did I get? 65, 67, and 67, and a proof. So 3 and a proof, and then the box the day before was a 40, but a 68. 68, and then so that was out of 2 boxes. I got 2 more boxes ordered. I'm going to try and get more boxes. I might even just stick to 2 boxes right now, and just that way the bank doesn't go, oh, well, you know, because Huntington, I was up to 18 boxes in one fell swoop, or within 3 days. I just had to get through them and get them out of there by Friday, which is why there were some days where I would have a stream in the middle of the day and then come back later and have more of a stream and then more of a stream and more, just to get done so that I could keep moving. The largest amount of silver I found out of a full week's order was 103 40s or 103 silvers. That includes whatever 90s I may have found. I haven't found too many 90s out of those boxes, the double stack ones, but I found one that had 10 990s, beautiful Kennedys, and 60 something 40. What recently happened? Oh, I picked up 2 rolls, $20 worth. One had a 68, 69 in it. I would think it was a 68. And then the other had 2 beautiful Benjis on one side. The other side looks like somebody crapped all over the backside.
Boy.
I was like, man, those look so good.
Yeah.
Well, we're just going to show the top of these. Look at how beautiful.
We'll put them in a cheat book where we never see the other side of this one.
I so want to clean them, but it's like, I don't know what happens to the finish if you clean, if you use just regular soap, because that shine that they have seems to just get ripped off of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I can see you're about to fall asleep right in that chair.
It is a pretty comfortable chair.
But yeah, this. Do you have any hunts coming up in the next couple of days?
I know that I am going to be traveling on Sunday. I normally hunt on Sundays, so if I'm going to do it, I'm debating. I'll probably find out in the next 24 hours, 48 hours if I have a box, because sometimes the Garda guys don't even bother to stop by this bank. Every once in a while they just skip it and leaves them in a lurch, which leaves me in a lurch. But I'm not gonna get bent out of shape about it. But I'm considering Friday night. That way I can, since I'm heading out of town, I can return stuff on Saturday morning, get the money back, and then have it with me as I head out of town for 2 weeks, because I've had some luck with the Wells Fargo Bank out near where I'll be, and I do have an account with them. So I'm thinking about calling ahead and seeing if maybe they'll order something, and I'll just take whatever laptop I'm using at that time, and maybe I'll do it in this environment. Who knows?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Especially if you have donators.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm
like, my last 2 boxes, nobody wanted to donate, and I found silver. I'm like, okay, I'll take the silver. I'll stash it aside.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about selling a bunch of the 40s just to take that money to go and put it back towards hunting again. Having been off so long, that really sucked up a lot of money for hunting.
Yep.
Ellen's show is saying something there. Oh, I think I remember when computers started going wonky was around the time of your 300 mat or 300 giveaway.
Probably. Oh, I think he just dropped a T. Probably around
300 mat. What's a 300 mat?
I think he just dropped a T that he's MATT.
Oh, saying your name. 300, yep. Matt.
Yeah.
The time of your 300. What is your
300 sub? Yep.
Oh, okay. Remember, said I was having problems
just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking a 300, man. What the heck? I guess that would look kind of cool. A movie 300.
Yeah.
300 movie mat. Cool. Speaking of which, if you need a mat made, let me know. I got the hookup on that now.
Yep.
I like the company I've been using. They're pretty fast. And
yep.
These things are huge. But
definitely, yeah.
Do you have a design?
Oh, do I have a design?
Figured out a design. Like for me, I just did this quickly just to have my own logo when you look down.
Yeah. I could do something like that. Let me show you something that I use. And I just kick out an 11 by 17 to do this, but it would be real easy to turn it into something more.
Look at these.
It's definitely got a lot of RFT influence on it, but let me bring it up.
I don't even know what I did with my other. Oh, never mind. I'm using it as a hamster thing. It's underneath the hamster cages to keep that underneath the. My other medium mat is under the hamster cage and the computer that's over here doing the mining, just to soften. I don't know, soften the thing to the table.
Yep.
So okay, so you got a couple of images. You got obviously I thought about doing something like with the key finds.
Yep.
I thought about doing something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of RFT influence on it. Because I put this together not long after I started, but when it came to doing $50, I was just like, yeah, if I'm going to look for these, I can't be continuing to pull them up and go blind doing that. I'll just put them on here.
Now, if you were to make a mat, what size mat would you make?
Oh,
obviously, the bigger, the easier to see.
Yeah. I don't know what standard sizes are. I mean,
RFT mat is pretty much the standard size.
Yeah,
that's like a.
That looks like that's about
12 it's like 12 by 18, give or take, half an inch. That's probably like 11 by 17, to be honest.
Probably something close to that.
Like the one you see always with me hunting, that one's an 18 by 36. But the medium is the one I think that is far better for like the average person, only because it's wide enough that you can put a keyboard and a mouse on it, and just slide the keyboard back, and you still have mouse room and coin farting around the room.
Yep.
And that's actually very like that's probably it's like $38. It's pretty cheap. It's very affordable. Yeah, I like the idea of having the actual pictures of the errors rather than trying to figure it out by like just looking for what you think might be a DDO or a 73, 74, 77, 72, 71, 71. You know what's missing? Right dead center, accented hair. The only thing I question is how light the background is, because of how dirty coins are.
Yep.
That's gonna get really dirty really fast.
Yeah, I've even seen that on one of Rob's maps where, on the side where it's more gray. Mm-hmm. After I just spread things out, I've got like this starting to look like the Milky Way.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about bright. That's why I went with black, because I'm like, man, I don't want to see that crap all over this thing. And then Larry, I got to find out if Larry got his green, because he had me order him one in green. Did you see it? Yeah. See how Garrett C's name next to on the chat there? It's green. Same color.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he had me make him one in green. So he bought one. Oh, there you go.
So I did one in pennies too.
See, that one I think
it's light again. So
I'm wondering how the dirt would shine on that.
I certainly wasn't taking that into account when I pulled these together, but if I were going to do these, I'd probably do like some larger 11 by 17 and get it laminated or something like that, just to have something.
Laminated?
Well, I mean, just to have something that if it were going to stay this color, that would kind of protect it against all the dirt and stuff from the coins. If I were going to, if I'm going to do something like what you're saying, then I definitely have to make some changes here and make it stand up to that a little better.
I wonder, like, that would look cool as a poster rather than a hunting mat, only because of how light it is in color.
Yep.
As far as getting dirty, it would like be something great to just put like right next to you, so you're like, obviously crick in the neck after a while, but I think that looked really great as a poster idea, or like an image that would be right next to you, so that you could just a reference sheet, I guess.
And that's exactly what I've been doing with it. Is if I've never really done anything more than just print it out in color and have it close by. But I made a few changes to how that was represented, and just tried to, everybody kind of reads things a little differently, what works better for them. It seems to work pretty good for me. And every one of those pennies at the top or cents, those are actually mine.
So that's even better, because then it's something you own yourself.
Yep.
I have no flying eagles. Never even seen one in real life.
It was my goal to get at least one once I had several wheat pennies and got into the Indians, and I just started kind of making my mission to start working backwards. And I don't have much further to go on that whole thing. I haven't gotten, if we were talking like a true typeset where you'd have every single iteration of penny all the way back to the beginning of the mint. I'm definitely missing a few. I definitely have some of the larger, large cents, a couple of the different variations there, but I just got one from an online auction that it wasn't in great shape, but I've looked it up on Gray Sheet and PCGS. Of course, you got to take that with a grain of salt. That's a graded, not necessarily what it'll get at auction, but it should, even in near poor shape, bring about $75. I think I got it for like less than 30.
Oh, there you go.
I'll take that all day. I mean, it can be slicker than hell, and I'll still make some money off that. But it was 1805, and
pretty old.
That's now my second oldest one. I don't have anything from the 1700s, but the oldest one is in slightly better shape than that one, and it's 1802.
I think the oldest one I have is 1855 brothel coin.
There you go.
The one not sent. But
I had somebody ask me, is like, well, why go get something that old in that bad a shape? And I'm just like, well, it's in that shape because it's been used. And I mean, you're talking something that's 219 years old. It's got a story, but you'll never really know it. But it's kind of fun to let your imagination go away with it.
Oh yeah,
and I even kind of geeked out one time. I was like, okay, from the beginning of the mint, when we started making cents, and how many, when that one was made in 1802, how many cents had we made in the mint at that time? And it's one of the first 20 million ever made by our mint. And to put it into perspective, I mean, full well, there's 4.5 billion made last year, in every year for the last 20 years or something like that. So I'm just like, that kind of puts the cool factor there.
Oh yeah. I thought I was at a guy's house today doing my job. I just knocked doors, and he had a Ford Model T in his garage. 1909. If I'm not mistaken, that was the first year they ever made Ford made the first car, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
1909, and but he was doing a modification, like a rat rod out of it. But the body, the headlights, all that stuff was there. Just the framing underneath it was different, but
yeah,
it was nice. It was nice to imagine what it looked like when it first came out, when it rolled off the assembly line, what number car it was. Because back then they didn't make hundreds of thousands. They made maybe hundreds, maybe 1,000 or a couple thousands, I think. I don't think they made hundreds of thousands. I think they only made maybe a few 10,000 or so, maybe a few thousand. I'd have to look it up, but like you said, just thinking about where that car has been or who has been in that car. I don't want to think about what they did in the car, but where has that car been? Where has it driven to?
Yep.
And
what's the history with it?
Like where has this coin been?
Exactly.
Where has Mr. Benji? So what has he seen?
Yeah.
Could it have been blood money?
Yeah.
Doubtful, but But it's I don't know. Thinking about that kind of stuff is pretty fun.
Yep. Well, I'm thinking about closing my eyes.
Yeah. That's all right.
So
you'll see me on, and I'm sure I'll see you on at some point. What is today? Today is, well, it's now Tuesday. Sometime later this week, I should have 2 boxes. So if you have a chance, come on in and check out the hunt. And I don't know if I'll have any kind of donators or anything, but as of right now, if I do get my boxes in and there's no hiccups, I will have, rolls available. And
Okay.
so if you want to come in and snag a couple and hopefully snag some of that silverback that you had to give away to Walker, Mr. Magnet.
I've given a lot to Walker. He was the guy back in late March that
Didn't he take the big collection dump?
Yeah, he did. 72 silvers in one box, and 40 of them were 90s. Yeah, he was for his $150. Oh yeah.
God dang it!
Yeah.
You know what you should do? I would say wait for him to want to donate on the next box and be like, you know what? We're going to hold off on this one. We're going to see. This one's going to be for me. You can have the next one.
Yeah.
Just put him out, just like Lilo. Let him pick the box that you should open.
Yeah.
You know,
hey Walker, what do you think about this box? Oh, you like it? Okay, well, we'll do the next one.
Yeah, this selection is for one that you're not going to open.
Yeah, he's been amazing. There for a while, he was like donating every week, and with only one box, it's like, okay, this is now Copper Owl Coins brought to you by Walker Magnet. Yeah.
Silver searching and finding mega collection dumps by Walker Magnet. Sounds like a co-company there.
Yeah.
Copper Owl Coins brings you Walker Magnet searching.
I added all that up. Yeah, for his 150, he was pushing about 450 in melt. Yeah, that hurt to give it away because not only did I give it away and spent the money to ship it, which was about $15 because I wasn't going to let that go uninsured this time, and it was just heavy. I'm also out $36 in coin.
Yeah, so technically you, as far as donation, you lost out more than the donation. 36 off of 150 right off the rip. You're down to 120, not counting shipping and insurance, and so you're probably under 100.
Yeah. And I forget what it was. There was something else. I did the math. I was down to about $80.
Well, the experience is what it's worth.
I tell you
that's what matters. The experience, nonetheless.
It was $1 million. Yeah, it was one of those. It's like at the end of the day, I didn't even care because it
just kept producing silver. You're like,
it got me a nice push. I mean, I had like Raven and Rob and those guys. They'd come out and they saw that, and I think I was on Rob's channel like the following Wednesday, and I said, "Hey, Rob, did you happen to stop by?" He says, "I did," and I know that look. I'm just like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's how I was.
Why can't some of this be mine?
What was weird was Mr. Lytle, and I always say Brian or Mr. Lytle. I always go back and forth. He's been my biggest donator. Okay. And I would grab a box and just start the hunt and just start hunting for the channel, whatever, because I didn't have a donator at the time. Then he would come in an hour later, donate on the following box. I'd let him pick whatever box he wanted. He'd be like, let Lilo pick. Okay. She'd sniff out a box and stay at one for so long. Do you want that one? Yes. Okay. Open it up.
Good girl.
The next box is what would have silver. That happens so many times, and I'm like, Jesus, dude, you are like cursed right now. I don't know what you've done to somebody. You've wronged somebody somehow, or I just like, because I would open one, it would have 30 silver, and then the next one have 1 or 2, if any. And that would be the one he picked. I've got him, and I wrote it down, and I'm just like, dude. And I've even tried starting the thing off with his box and then go to another box for the channel or for someone else or whatever. And then he's even done a few rolls. He's done every tier I've ever come up with. I've come up with so many different tiers. He's done them all.
Yeah.
And 1 full box or 2 full boxes, he's gotten some silver. Party Pickle comes in, 5 rolls, 2 silver. And I'm just like, you're I don't know. Like I don't know where the you froze for a good 15 seconds there.
Yeah, you were froze for about 5.
Oh, I was just saying, Party Pickle came in, got 5 rolls, 2 silver immediately.
Yep.
And then the rest of the box, I think Brian got some out of that box, nothing left. Party got it all. Yep. And I was just like, man. And I want him to get a huge collection dump. I mean, he definitely deserves it. You know, with supporting the channel as much as he has. I want him to get the biggest, and that's why on some boxes I've doubled. Like if you get some, I'm doubling it. I don't care what it is. Walker, you're getting 2. You know, Kennedy, you're getting 2. You know, and then we've traded. What did he do? I think that's actually he donated when my mom passed to help me with everything I had to go through. So I think I'm going to give him one of these boxes that come in. Now that I think about it. To hunt for him, to kind of pay him back for loan. No, I wouldn't say loaning because he donated it to me to help me out. To show my appreciation, I'm gonna have him hunt one of these boxes. Now, getting the boxes is like, do you want to hunt the first one or second one? Because there's only 2. I would not be surprised if you picked the box that had no silver again. It would not surprise me, but I think I would just be like, you know what? You can just have the one that has silver in it because you deserve it.
Yep.
Because out of everyone that's been on my channel, he's the one and only person that ever donated and never asked for anything in return. Like, hey, can I have this? And I'll give you some extra money. He just sent me a Cash App. And I was just, dude, you didn't have to do that, man. Like, I appreciate it, but you don't. So I sent him an S and a W coin that he didn't have because that's all I had to give really at the time. But I feel like now that I think about it, now that I have boxes back, he deserves at least another box to hunt, and hope to God it's the collection dump that he deserves. And I've never found 4090s.
Yeah.
I would definitely not be upset for him to be that box, you know,
right,
for everything, for all of his support.
Yeah, it's just an incredible, rush to be like, oh, another 90, oh, another 90.
I think at some point you're probably like, okay, now this is just, I don't, you tell me.
Yeah,
like I don't even want to see it anymore.
And of those 4090s. 20 of them were Kennedys. So
a stream where he found over 100 silver, 180 90s.
Oh my God. That's
9 rolls.
Yeah. It's like $1,800 mil.
Nikes.
A little less than that now, but a couple months ago about 1,800. That's sweet. No, out of those 40, I think we had 16 Benjis and 4 Walkers. I mean, it was bananas. We were having like Benji enders. It was awesome.
Should have put put some bets on it, put some bets on some rolls. All right, who wants to bet $1 against me that this baby's got silver in it?
I think I had like 2 rolls out of that box that had 6 in it, and one of them had 4 in it, and it's just kind of the odds of, do you hunt it from one end or the other, when you start off going through it. And I'm just like, okay, looks like there's 4 silvers here. I'll work left to right the way I read, and pull the first one out, 40. Next one, 90 Kennedy. Next one, 90 Benji. Next one, 90 Walker. It was just like, almost like just serendipitous that it was all 4 that you could pull in order.
Yeah. No barber?
Yeah, I know. I mean, how dare they?
That would have been the 4th one, really. 40,
that would have
90,
been
90 Kennedy, 90 Walker, or Benji Walker, Barber.
Yeah.
And what's before Barber?
yeah.
I don't think
If
there is anything.
I
But
pulled that out, before Barber would have been.
I don't know what capped busts are made out of.
Yeah, they're silver.
Are those $half?
Yeah.
That would be before Barber then, I would think. It's
Should
definitely before Barber, but I don't know if it's directly before.
Right.
Definitely older.
I was trying to think if there was anything like no, there's a seated. I think there's a seated before.
I've got a seated quarter.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
To get 3 out of the 4 that could only be, that's pretty awesome. Did you get them in that order? 40, 90 Ken, 90 Ben, 90 or Walker.
Yep. If I'd started the other way, it would have gone the other direction, but it was kind of cool to just.
It would have been not so exciting.
Yeah.
It would have been a down.
Oh, look, only a 40. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been like, oh my God, a Walker. Hey, a Benji.
Yeah.
Oh, a Kennedy 90.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Just throwing 40s. Like, we don't want that.
Want this one.
Magnet, we don't need to talk about that one. Let's just look for these 90s.
Oh, and Walker just throughout the chat is kind of like, oh my God, really?
He must have been dying. He must have been just up in his chair, just dancing.
So crazy. It was crazy because he was coming in and he was only going to buy the first 20 rolls. And before the stream started, he was just like, are the other 30 still available? Yeah. Okay, I'll take those. If he had only gotten the first 20, he still would have gotten about 15 to 18, if I recall correct. Because when we hit the midway point, we were like at 25, and I was thinking, stop now. I mean, if we don't find anything else, this is already a terrific box. Little did I know we'd almost double that in the second half of the box, and I'm just like, this is freaking ridiculous.
See, that's the point where, like, can I buy the other half of this box for me, because this is just too much.
Yeah,
I need some silver too now.
Now, if I had done that, it would have gone blank. I would have had Lidl luck.
No, it still would have been there. I know what you're saying, though. You'd have been like,
yeah.
I feel like it would just disappeared, and it would have been all. You would have been stumped with like pennies in the rolls instead of $half.
Yeah.
Well, this one's
like
missing. You would have been scammed out of $half, and all you find is a penny, gapping them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have one of those like wonderful life moments where it's kind of like, oh, look, they were there.
Did you see the last silver quarter I just found? Right on the end. I couldn't see it because it was a customer roll. So it was all the way mushed closed. So you couldn't see crap and I opened it where it dropped out last, and clink, I'm like, nothing else. No W, no S. Just that.
I promise you, I'm taking cash with me out, because the place where I stay, I just stay at like Hampton Inns when I'm out on business travel.
You ever asked a Hampton Inn lady for $half?
I've asked them for their nickels, and then I give them like $10. They give me their nickels. I hunt those. I replace with any spare change that I've got. If I find anything. Found my first war nickel that way. Found a proof nickel that way. And give it back to them just like it is the bank. And of course, I put like a dot on them so that I don't come back and hunt the same roll again. Just put them back in their wrappers, and then I'm like, okay, do you have quarters? Because I know you got a laundry here. I know you've got quarters. So I searched those, found a silver quarter that way.
I would always start with the quarters myself.
Yeah.
They got the most amount of silver.
Yep. So, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, with so few, relatively few rolls by comparison of getting, bank boxes and stuff, I was like, damn, I'm finding quite a bit here. And the one silver quarter that I found, I forget what year it was, but there was like some variety on the reverse that I came back and looked, and like an M was closer to the edge or something like that. I forget which one it was. But it took it from being like a $4 silver to about $15 of value.
That's good.
Yeah. I flipped that up and brought it back with me and showed the guy, because he's kind of an antique junkie too.
I'm thinking about taking about $100 and going to all the corn laundromats around here, the laundromats, and just walking out with all the money, just like,
yeah,
like, I'll be back with this if you really need it, but if not, I'm taking it home and keeping it.
I've actually given some thought to getting with the like vending machine guys, see if I can like get in tight with one of those guys and say, hey, instead of taking it to the bank, just let me buy it.
Yeah, see, those would be hard if it's the ones with the nickels and dimes and whatnot.
There's some recorders now, so
I
guess they still take others. Yeah,
I want to talk to the person at the Coinstar.
Yeah,
because people are dropping, like, silver's getting through. It's not a lot, but it's still getting in there.
Yeah.
And I haven't found anything in the little return tray yet. Pennies. I found some pennies, some sticky pennies, like covered in goop. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I stuck my hand in there. We can just have those back.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting out of here. These eyes are like sucking into my brain, like my sockets. But I don't know if you're up online tomorrow or whatever. Hit me up. I'll be on here somewhere doing something.
What time you going?
9-ish.
Okay.
9 my time, which is, it says 3:27 a.m. for me, so 9 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, I'm an hour later
than
you.
If you're west of me by an hour, it'd be 8 p.m. ish.
I'll probably be able to catch on between 8:30 and 9. I got a commitment till about 8:30, but
I don't know what I'll be streaming for. I'll be streaming something. I'm actually going to try and pick up some quarter rolls or whatever I can find in the bank tomorrow. And sometimes, like, if I find rolls of halves, I'll just pour them out in my hand, but not look at them. I'll just look at the edges. And if it's silver, right back in the roll, and then I'm just geeking all day. And then I can't wait to get back to the house to either make a video or whatever. But I'm going to try and I've got about $500. I can go to a bunch of banks tomorrow, stopping off during work and just be like, you got any $50? No? Okay, bye.
Yep.
So that's going to be probably what I find and bring back home to search tomorrow.
If not, that.
It'll be another StreamYard kind of thing.
Yep. Okay, cool. We'll catch you then, man.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on.
Oh, you bet. No, it's great talking.
All right. I'll catch you later. And everybody else, have a good one.
Yep. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I can't believe we still got 6 people.
I don't even know what half they've been talking about. Biscuits and cookies and derbies. I don't know what that is.
Yep.
Derbies.
Oh, well. We'll do it again sometime, everybody.
All right. Have a good one.
Yep. We'll talk to you. Yep. Bye, everybody.